this one. Waiting for it to say that we are good, and we are on. Hey guys, how you going? Today on BKR Sport, we are live for the Canterbury Bulldogs taking on the Parramatta Eels in a game that is very, very much important here for the Dogs to win, because this is the first time all season they are not in first position. The Raiders obviously took that over from them just yesterday with a nice little win there for Josh Papali'i's 319th game. He scored a double, and the Raiders were able to beat the Rabbitohs like 36-12 or something like that. I can't even remember the scoreline. Gee whiz, this was only yesterday and I forgot the score. I think it might have been like 36-12. What was it? It was 36-12. I did remember the scoreline. Unbelievable. Look at me. I'm flying. I'm absolutely flying. But let's get into these two team lineups today, guys. Obviously, the game starts in about half an hour time, 30 minutes. So we decided to go a little bit live here on a public holiday for you. So hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new around here, and get in the chat and let us know your predictions for this game. Now, the Bulldogs come to this game from second position. The Eels come to this game from 16th position, and this is at a core stadium in Sydney, the home ground of the Dogs, also the Rabbitohs, but for this game, obviously the Dogs. The ins here, Daniel Salukafavita, Jacob Kiraz, Kurt Mann, Lachlan Galvin, Max King, and Stephen Crichton, so they get their origin plays back, obviously. With the outs being Blake Tav, Blake Wilson, Jack Underhill, Jake Turpin, Luke Smith, and Samuel Hughes. The fullback is Connor Tracy, with the wingers being Jacob Kiraz and Marcelo Montoya. Centres are Bronson Terry and Stephen Crichton, who is the captain. 5'8" is Matt Burton, with the halfback being the sexy Sexton that ever did Sexton, Toby Sexton. The front row forwards of Maxi King and Daniel Salukafavita, with the number 9 being Reid Marnie. Back row is Viliami Kickout with Josh Curran, and Bailey Hayward is the lock. He moves in replacement of Kurt Mann, who gets pushed to the bench, interchange. Kurt Mann, Harry Hayes, Lipboy Hopboy, and Lachlan Galvin, the new man from the West Tigers, who we originally all thought he was going to the Parramatta Eels. We thought he was going to the Eels, but he did not go to the Eels, and he decided to go to the Dogs instead, and now he's on the bench. This is his debut game. It's going to be interesting to see how he cracks on here. He's had a lot of news stories. He's been kind of the big news story so far this year, realistically, when it comes to actually on field, rather than, putting an origin player in that, decide to drink behind the wheel. But anyway, so Curtis Marin is the replacement, and then Cameron Ciraldo is the coach. So this is a good Bulldogs team, man, and Galvin's going to benefit them. Galvin is going to benefit them. I wonder whether they will use him in the... I think they're probably putting him on the bench here, not to replace, obviously, one of their halves, but they could be looking to put him into the 13 position, to be completely honest with you, which is what people have been talking about for a little bit of time. Obviously, a bit of a smaller frame, but at the end of the day, Galvin's going to be an interesting usage here for the Dogs off the bench, and also obviously can play as a third half if they really wanted to. Go down that similar direction the Rabbitohs went in a couple of years ago when they had Cody Walker, Adam Reynolds, and also Benji Marshall at one point. But look, this is a strong Dogs team. Obviously, there's a reason why they're in second position. I still, I don't know, I'm still just I've bought into the fact that they are a top 4 team, absolutely. I've bought into the fact that they are one of the highest and biggest competitors there is this season, absolutely. But I just feel like maybe I'm trying to adjust my mind away from the Melbourne and the Sydney Roosters and the Penrith Panthers, obviously. These teams that have won so frequently throughout Panthers the last 4 years, obviously, but they were in the grand final 5 years ago as well. The Storm, who are always there, the Roosters are always there, and kind of moving my brain away from having this just... It's weird if it's not them kind of mentality, and I don't want to have that. The Bulldogs have been playing and deserving their spot this year, same with the Raiders as well. It feels weird to say they're at the top of the table, and also the New Zealand Warriors. So I'm just trying to really adjust my mindset to say, look, the Dogs are a very good team, and they absolutely deserve where they are. It's just about adjusting that mindset. The Eels, on the other hand, in Joey Lussick and Will Penasini, with the outs being Luca Moretti and Ryan Madison. The fullback is Isaiah Yongi, with wingers Zach Lomax, who is the best taxman in the business, and Josh Adokar as well on the wings. Will Penasini and Sean Russell are the centres, with Dylan Brown as the 5'8", and Mitchell Moses is the captain in halfback. Front row forwards are Jack Williams and Junior Bolo, with the number 9, Riley Smith. Back row is Kelma Tuolangi and Kitioni Kautonga, with the 13 being Jermaine Hopgood. Interchange, Dylan Walker, Jordan Sambrani, Joash Papali'i, and Matt Drury, with the 18th man replacement being Joey Lussick, and coach is Jason Riles. Now, on the flip side of things, they are well deserving of their second last positioning. They have had a real struggle season this year, the Eels, obviously without Mitchell Moses for a large portion, which does provide them a bit of excuses, because when he's playing for them, obviously they are a much better team. But to go through their season, they lost to the Storm 56-18. That's fine. Lost to the Tigers 32-6, which is... At that point of the season, it wasn't great, considering they were coming off the back of 3 wooden spoons in a row. Obviously, they're a bit better than that, even though they're still a bottom 4 team, but 32-6 is a big scoreline to lose to. They played the Dogs, and the Dogs hadn't lost a game yet. It was 16-8 to the Bulldogs in this one. I actually thought the Eels were clearly... They weren't the better team, but they had so many opportunities that you could have said they should have won it on the. Like they should have, but they didn't because they just made so many mistakes. So that's their fault. That's their errors. That's why it's a weird one because it's like they had every opportunity in the world to beat the Bulldogs that day. They just couldn't get over the line. So maybe Mitchell Moses does change that around and gives them that extra little oomph to get them over the line here, but it's going to be a tough one, obviously. Then they went and lost to Manly 26-12. So that's 0-4 to start their season. Before they went and beat the Dragons 23-22 in a really random one there. And then they're back to losing ways in a 50-12 drubbing up there in Darwin. They love to lose in Darwin. Lucky for them, it's their last year there. 50-12 to the Raiders. And it's like the Raiders are very good this year, but anytime you're conceding 50, you know, you're just like, what the hell's going on? Then they went and beat the Tigers 38-22 for a bye, and then lost the Sharks 28-18, lost the Dolphins 20-16, beat the Knights 28-6, but Newcastle is Newcastle. And Manly found that the completely opposite. I don't know what happened with Manly, but then again, the Eels beat Manly 30-10 the week after, and then obviously lost to the Panthers 18-10 last week. So look, the Eels season started off horrifically, and then they had a good win against the Dragons, then started to falter again. They obviously are losing off more often than not, but there is a little bit of hope and a little bit of a sign that with Mitchell Moses there, they're able to do better and to push themselves kind of away from the wooden spoon. Maybe potentially outside the bottom four, but they're probably still going to be they are battling for the spoon alongside the Titans and also the Newcastle Knights. Technically, they could go into last today, but they're not going to go into last today. They'd have to lose by like 60-70. I don't know. I think the Bulldogs win this game. I do think the Eels have it in them to actually get an upset. We have seen this season there has been so many upsets week in, week out. The Knights against Manly was a perfect example. Most of this weekend, however, has been pretty much the favourites winning. Actually, I want to quickly have a look here. So the Knights were the underdogs, and they came back from 16-0 down to Manly. Storm were the favourites. Dolphins, I believe, were the favourites. Sharks were actually the favourites, and they lost 40-10. So take that one away. Bronx were the favourites. Raiders were the favourites, and Panthers were the favourites. So there was two upsets still this weekend, and in those two upsets, the Warriors smacking the Sharks was a big upset on the sense of how much the scoreline was, but. It wasn't a massive upset in regards to table positioning because technically the Warriors are above the Sharks. It's just they were being completely underrated going into that game. And the Knights, there's a reason why they were massive underdogs, and that was a fantastic game. Like I told you before the weekend started, I said it would not be a surprise if it's one of the games that you look at as being one of the worst games, actually being the great game of the weekend. And so far, the Knights Manly clearly was the game of the weekend, which is so funny considering it never looked like it was going to be good pre-game. But yeah, look, I will tip the Dogs here today. I just feel like it'll be a close one. I don't think it's going to be a 13 plus. There is every opportunity in the world that it could be 13 plus. It could be 40 plus. It could be up that caliber. But I think that the Dogs have had a lot of distractions recently as well, in regards to the Toby Sexton news, in regards to the Reid Marnie news, in regards to Galvin coming across, people questioning why they're making changes when they're on the top of the table. Now they've dropped into seconds, so they've got a lot more to play for too, and they're actually equal seconds alongside. Well, they're equal first technically. But let's get into the ladder. We'll get into the ladder now. So like I said, I'm tipping Dogs 1-12. I don't know. I feel like the Eels will make it close, but there's still every possibility the Eels get absolutely slapped too. So in regards to the ladder, we'll go down to the bottom of the table first. So the Eels on 16 points. So they're in 16th. They're on 10 points, which is equal last with the Titans. But the Titans' points differential, you wouldn't even spit at, minus 142. The Eels are at minus 87. So technically, if they lost this game by what? 97, 107, 117, 127, 137, 147. They would have to lose by about 56 to 58 points to go below the Titans, which, look, go Dogs. Go Dogs. If you want to go and do that and take my team at the bottom of the table, feel free to. I do think my team deserves to kind of be where they are at right now, but you know, if the Eels were to lose by about 58 points, they would go into last position. Now, if the Eels were to win this game, they're on minus 87, which they would go to 12 points alongside the Tigers and also the Knights. They probably wouldn't be going above these teams though. They probably wouldn't be. They probably wouldn't be going there. Hold on one second. I just got off of that. There we go. Okay, we're back. Minus 87. The Knights are on minus 65, and the Tigers are minus 62. So they would have to win this game by 22 points or more to go above the Knights. But effectively, the Knights and the Tigers are so close there by 3 points differential that if they win this game by 30 points, they would go above 28 points, 30 points. They would actually go above the Tigers as well. So there is a possibility of them going into 14th, but I don't think they're going to be winning by 13 plus, let alone 20 plus to be jumping these teams. So effectively, win or lose, the Eels probably just remain in last. It just means that if they were to win this game, they would be 2 points separating from the Titans, and that points differential would just grow larger. All right, so that's all the Eels are really playing for today. Effectively points differential and a 2-point gap. In regards to the Bulldogs, they're on 22 points, which is equal first with the Raiders and the Warriors. Don't forget the Warriors there. They are there as well on 22 points. It's just their points differential isn't anywhere near where it needs to be. However, they helped it out with a big 30-point win against the Sharks. Bulldogs, if they lose this game, they would have to lose this game by 64, 54, 44, 34, 40 points to go below the Warriors. So good luck with that one. All right, good luck with that one. But if they lost by 40-odd points, they would be going below the Warriors. If they were to win this game, they would go back into first position above the Raiders. The Raiders have a points differential of plus 96 right now. So that is 22 points better than where the Dogs are at. That is thanks to a big win over the Rabbitohs yesterday, because it was like 74-72. Now, because of that big win, the Raiders are at 96 to 74. So it wouldn't matter, because obviously 24 points would mean that they were clear on out. However, this is a game the Dogs should target points differential-wise, because the Eels are in second last for a reason. The Dogs are up there and believe they are a first-place team for a reason. So this is the game you should be targeting to absolutely slap down. And listen, as a Titans fan, I'd love that. And I think a lot of the teams like the Tigers and the Knights and stuff would also really, really enjoy that one. But the Bulldogs, you just need to win this game by a lot. In your thought process, you shouldn't be letting up, and you should just keep going and keep going. There are games you need to target for points differential, and to big it up in comparison to if you're taking on the Sharks or you're taking on the Storm. Like, that's why it's so wild the Warriors flogged the Sharks, because that wasn't a game they would have been targeting for a points differential boost, but they got it. So any game can be like that, but you don't target those games. You target these ones. So for the Bulldogs, I think that you need to have the mentality of just going in and absolutely crushing the Eels today. So yeah, if they win, they go to first. Next week, because we'll have a look at next week, we're getting into the back half of the season now. This is the second half of the season we're in. So you've got to start thinking about kind of their next couple of games. So next week, the Dogs will have the Rabbitohs. They don't have a bye. So the Warriors have a bye and the Raiders have a bye. So this is big. Actually, sorry, the Storm also have a bye. So the Storm, they are on 20 points, on plus 171. So that's only 2 points below the Raiders, the Bulldogs, and the Warriors. Now, the Warriors and the Raiders, they can't go below the Storm next week because they have the bye. And the Storm have the bye. However, the Storm points differential is plus 171. The Dogs points differential is plus 74. So if they lose this game, and then they play the Rabbitohs next week, and just say for argument's sake they lose the Rabbitohs, the Storm would also jump above the Dogs too. So this is a really important game here for Canterbury. They need to win this game, not only because it's against second last, not only to put themselves back into first, but it leaves them in such a susceptible position where next week they could actually end up in fourth if they were to lose that game. Actually, they would be in fourth until they played on the Sunday. So, yeah, they play on Sunday against the Rabbitohs. So it's a very important game, this one, Bulldogs fans. You are in a very, very important game. You must win this. You must win this, man. But there you go. I'm tipping the Dogs 1-12. For you, Dogs fans, you want to win by a country mile, at least by 22 points, so that you can go back above the Raiders points differential-wise, even though you would be... would obviously be above them regardless. Just think about that points differential. For the Eels, just have hope, man. Just have hope. Adding Mitchell Moses into your team could actually give you a good crack. That's why I'm tipping the Dogs 1-12 and not 13+. But all right, guys, let's get to the chat. Let's see what you're saying. Game starts in 15 minutes' time. Thumbs up, subscribe, bing, bang, boom. Looking forward to seeing how they use Galvin today off of the bench. Okay, let's move this bad boy across. There's an NRL game on a Monday, so round Donker. The game it's King's birthday, I believe. I'm in Thailand, so I got told about this. It's a public holiday in Australia. That's why. Blissy says, bad day being an Eels fan, much like every other day. Yeah, it is very much like every other day, Blissy, but the only issue that I find in your statement is that you're a Scanner supporter. Don't you start me on the Sharks, son. Don't you start me on Cronulla. Don't you do it. Don't you... Oh, my gosh, that team pissed me off. Buddy, predict them for first place. Buddy, unbelievable. Predict them for first place? You get slapped at home? Oh my gosh, Blitzy. Every time I see your name, it reminds me of Cronulla, and it pisses me off, man. It pisses me off, man. Don't do it. And says, what place are the Eels in? They are in second last. Blitzy says, bro, What's happening? Let's do that again in English, Blitzy. Travis says, all right, I'm just here for the Bucky show. Oh, well, we'll see if Bucky turns up. Jared Farmoney says, finished work just in time for some Monday 40. Gotta love it. Get around it, son. Dasmate says, I'm on a swing. Happy birthday, Max King. Party in Beijing. Eels 13 plus. Wow, Daz. Can't believe you'd say Eels 13 plus. That's crazy. GTGT says, let's go the Eels. Jack Kirkland says, why is it on Monday? Apparently it's public holiday. I believe people were saying it was the King's birthday or something. So I would have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea, but fair enough. Fair enough. Brocky Sports says, Dogs 13 plus. First try scorer Josh Morris. Anytime try scorer Hazem El Masri. Thank you, Brocky, for that really intellectual comment, that one. Thank you, thank you. Jack Kirkland, that's right. Travis says, if Mitch Moses gets first try scorer, Eels will take the W. That's an extremely random comment, but sure. Metal says, maybe go get your eyes checked out. Good point. Joshua says, after 26 games with the Maroons, especially the last 20, Ches is out. Dearden is in at 7 for the next Wednesday. Also, Ponga is still going to play fullback, but unfortunately, Mam has been chosen to play. Yeah, disagree with Mam being chosen to play. He should be nowhere near the Origin team. I don't know why you would think that Ponga wasn't going to be fullback. One game against 17th place, whilst Reece Walsh has had an absolutely awful season so far. He's just come back from injury as well. So were you expecting Billy Slater to say Ponga's gone based off of Reece Walsh being awful until his injury, then he was injured, and he's come back and he's had a fantastic game against 17th place, a team in the Titans that currently has the worst points differential, concedes points for fun, and can barely score? You thought that Reece Walsh was going to be selected because of that one game? Like, it was never going to be changed. I don't understand who you thought was going to be going to fullback. Hamisa's in the centres. They're not going to be changing that. Who else would they be selecting over him? Jai Gray's not even in first grade right now for the Rabbitohs, if you were thinking that way. And Reece Walsh it was just never getting picked. I don't understand why people thought this was going to happen. But Cherry Evans, look, I didn't think that Billy would actually have the balls to do it. I really didn't. I didn't think Billy would. I didn't think that Billy would drop him. I did not think that Billy would drop him. But apparently he did it. You know, apparently he went and cracked on with it and said, "See you later, cheers. See you later, buddy." You know, which is crazy thought process, but he did it. Joshua says, for some reason my other account cannot chat despite being subscribed. Oh, okay. Is this? I'm getting a feeling. I think I know who this is. To be fair. Realistic chance of Parra winning. Sunday says, look, I don't think it happens, but I do think a 13 pluser is. I think a 13 pluser isn't what I'm going to be predicting. I can understand why people would be predicting a 13 pluser here for the Dogs. I definitely think that, but I think the Eels will be up for a good clash here. I think that they'll give it a good go, but the Dogs should be too strong for them. And if the Dogs think that they are a premiership potential winning team this year, then they have to be winning this game. You know, they have to win this game by a decent bit. Galvin's in, Eels by 40. Thank you, Mitchell. Thank you, Mitchell. GTGT says, if Walshy got selected, I would have switched to the Blues. Well, it would have made no sense. And this is the thing. Like, it would have made absolutely no sense. I don't even know why Reece Walsh was even in the discussion from anybody. It was just not happening. Again, I'm not saying that he can't get it in the future. By the way, it is raining here in Sydney, so do think about the under as well. Do think about the under. Surah says, are you going to play the game so we can see it? Well, it is a public holiday right now, which means I think you get time and a half in regards to pay, which would mean that you would have to have a job so that you can watch it on Kaya, because you're looking for an illegal stream right now. And you see the word illegal there? It's a very key word. Very, very key word. I want you to focus on the word illegal, because that's what you're trying to find right now. You're very well aware that I can't show you the game and due to broadcasting restrictions, and the game hasn't even started yet, for starters. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you know that the time and a half, you probably should have organised that beforehand so that you could get KO. Yeah. Travis says, quick thought, what about Hamiso as fullback wearing the number 1 for Queensland? No. Hunter Whipperata says, DC out, still not going to win. Still going to win, Queensland. Queensland definitely going to win. Queensland's still definitely going to win. Deary me, Hunter Honey, come on. JJ Squad says, when is it starting? It starts in 10 minutes time, man. Starts in 10 minutes time. Azik says, get that fraud alert ready for the Bulldogs. Well, if they lose this game, Azik, I can't argue with you. If the Bulldogs lose to the second last Eels, oof, you know, this is going to start looking crazy. We're going to have scammers in 5th. We're going to have 2 fraud alerts massively down here. And then we're going to have a fraud alert up here. They can't lose this game. And Bulldogs fans, you can't argue with me if you lose this game. You cannot argue you don't deserve to be on fraud alert if you lose the Eels here. You should not be losing the Eels. Again, I feel like the Eels will give it a good crack. I don't think that they win, though. So, you know, it'd be scary. Mitchell says, put your sunglasses on. Okay. Yeah, the issue is I don't have sunglasses here, Mitchell. Yeah, no, unfortunately I don't. I could try and put the reflection on in the painting if you would like. Yeah. I could get maybe a reflection off of the glass of the painting if you'd like. Casey says, yo, yo, yo. Hello, Casey. Get around it. But no, look, I just want a good game here, man. I just want a good game. I don't want to see like as a Titans fan, I would love a superior blowout. I would love it because it'd bring the Eels right back. They're in the dribbler squad right now. Right back to the dribbler brigade. Jessica says, are we watching it live? Yeah. Casey says, is that the Ice Cube bandana? Nice. No, this isn't the Ice Cube bandana, mate. This is not. What? How does this look like an Ice Cube bandana? What? This is just like a very light blue / white bloody headband. What are you talking about? What kind of clown doesn't have sunglasses? Me. I'm a big clown. Massive, massive clown. Massive. Huge. I've never seen a bigger clown in my life than me, besides you. Which is up there, Mitchell. You are a Tigers fan by choice. By choice, Mitchell. You are a Tigers fan by choice, which is unfortunately back in the dribble brigade. They are back into the bottom four right now, and only 2 points away from last. So, despite a great season so far for the Tigers mentally, statistically, they are only 2 points away from last position right now. So all that Blaze is a Tigers hater and all that blah blah dribble that they're a developing team and don't expect too much just yet, and all the Tigers fans saying that I'm just a Tigers hater and that they're going to make the top 8. It's not looking necessarily pretty for you. But hey, long season still to go. Long season still to go. Where will it put the Warriors? Well, I've already gone through this at the start, but the Dogs would have to lose by like 40 points to go by the Warriors. Warriors points differential is not good enough yet. But still much better than the Sharks at plus 14 now. Kay says, you know what a clown is having very dark sunglasses as safety glasses when you're working inside. Can you imagine the slander I'd get if I'd actually wear sunglasses while streaming? Yeah, thank you, Jay. Jessica, that is the link to the live game. Jay is very reliable. He's a very reliable man here. Very reliable man. That's the live game right there, Jessica. You're going to have to click on that one and you'll be able to find it. My poll's not working, by the way. It says that there's only 10 votes. I'm very well aware there is not only 10 votes in this poll. So that poll is done for me. I don't know why it's not working. We've only played 5 games for some reason, so it makes sense. When do the Titans play the Tigers, man? When do the Titans play the Tigers? I'm going to have a look. Well, we have a good record against the Tigers. I think we've won 17 games and lost 10 or something like that. It's one of the only teams we have a positive record against. When do we play you guys? We play wow, we don't play the Tigers until round 20. Damn, the NRL schedule, like, we play them twice, though. We do play you again in the Battle of the Spoon, the last game of the season. NRL schedule this year has been so strange. It's been so strange. Like, ultimately, I don't really care, but it's just been so strange, this schedule this year, where you're playing teams in a team, you know, in a clump, like across 5 weeks. That one's against across 7 weeks, which isn't too bad, but you play them in a clump. Doggies winning, but hopefully it's a close game, surely not a blowout. Well, it is absolutely potential for a blowout, but I think that I've gone Dogs 1-12. Buster says we have the Sea Eagles number. Buster, we have the Sea Eagles number, do we? At the Titans? We got the Sea Eagles number, do we? The Titans, we have the Sea Eagles number, do we? We don't have a great record against Manly all time. They've also scored nearly 100 points more than us, and they've also conceded over 100 less points than us. So, you know, I look forward to it. I back you. Buster says, let me Google it. We do not have a winning record over Manly, bro. I promise you. I don't need to Google it. I'll close my eyes. I'll put another bandana on over my eyes. I can promise you right now we do not have a winning record over Manly. I can promise you right this very second. Mitchell says, I don't think it's possible to have a lower than 60% win rate against the Tigers. Actually, is there a team the Tigers have a positive win? Actually, I'll go Google it while we're still waiting here. 5 minutes ago. Is there a team? What is that rugby league website that is it Rugby League Report? Is it or something? No. What is that website? A really good one. Rugby League Project, maybe. No? Rugby League. I'll type in Rugby League stats and it'll come up. What is it? Maybe it's rugby league. I think it is rugby league project, isn't it? Yeah, it is. All right, so teams, and then we'll go to the west of the Daggers. 16-12 Seagulls way. Like I said, I did not need to Google to know that we do not have a winning record against them. Results. No, not just simple results. I want like head to head. Okay, this is the one. So the Tigers have 24-23 against the Cowboys. You have a winning record against the Cowboys. The Tigers have a winning record against the Cowboys. That's a surprise. Anybody else? Definitely not against South Sydney. Definitely not against the Bulldogs. You do have a winning record over the Cronulla Sharks. You have a winning record of the Sharks, 20-18. Damn, you suck against the Roosters. 9-30. You've won 9 games out of 39 games against the Roosters. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no. Hold on. Wait, what's happening here? Yeah, okay, yeah, no, you have. Yeah, 9 wins is outrageous in 39 games. All right, we're going to move off that. Otherwise, Tigers fans are actually going to think I'm just hating on them for no reason. Tanner says, yeah, just have to be winning after 30 minutes. Like after 30 minutes, they'll be winning, but they don't have to win the game. What's happening? Sundo says, had a cheeky bet, Parra to be winning after 30 minutes. Yes, there is certain bets that you can make with betting agencies and stuff that is in the first 30 minutes who wins the game and kind of stuff. I actually tipped the Bulldogs, but I bet on Parra thinking I tipped them. Well, of course he tipped the Dogs. Like, everyone should be tipping the Dogs here. If you want to go and upset, like, be my guest, but it's a ballsy call. I do think the Eels will be up for it, but I just don't know if they're good enough to get over the line. With that being said, it just comes down to the distractions. It comes down to the distractions in regards to this game for the Bulldogs, because they've had a lot of distractions recently. 3 minutes to go until the game starts here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Obviously, this is a short week, so Tuesday we have no game. Wednesday we have no game, but then there's going to be a game on Thursday, a game on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, and a game on Sunday before Origin next Wednesday. Thanks for putting me back in depression. I just got out of it. No, Mitchell. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, because at least you're not in last place right now. Oh, it'd be so silly to support a team that's currently sitting in last place. That'd be silly. Casey says, Galvin playing, or he just bench word today. Well, bench is playing, but Galvin is on the bench, but bench is still definitely playing. Definitely still playing. But Eels are about to run out here onto the field. I'll ask Dogs fans. I want to ask Dogs fans, get into the chat. Is this a game that you still care about in regards to, like, rivalry reasons? Like, rivalry-wise, do you still hate the Eels like you used to? Obviously, you still dislike them. But do you care as much about the Eels anymore as you used to? Because I know that Eels fans definitely would. Eels also probably care more about Manly still. But, like, is that... The Bulldogs and Eels is a big, long-standing rivalry. But is it as fierce now as it once was? Daz cares. Well, of course Daz cares. Is Daz at the game? Is Daz at the game? Daz hates every team, though. Like, I don't think the Eels supersede that for him. I think Daz just hates every team, except for the Titans. He's a big fan of the Titans. All right, Eels coming out now. Get the score predictions in the chat. Come on, a good game. That's all we want. We got everyone's number, mate. I don't know what's happening there. Oh, we got everyone's number, mate. Don't worry, we just don't got a phone. Yeah, no, that is correct. So what is this? I for glue? I don't know what that is. Dad is scared of the rain. Yeah, Dad probably is scared of the rain. He'd be at this game. He's at Bankstown KFC with old mate Chad. He gives him a discount. Moses against the Bulldogs, 23 games, 18 try assists, 43 tackle busts, and average kicking meters of 299. All right, now the Doggies coming out onto the field, led by Stephen Crichton. They obviously did have quite a few players out with Origin, and now they are back, full strength. GT says Eels 12 plus. Are you saying the Eels to have a handicap of plus 12? Or are you saying the Eels to win by 12 plus? Because by what you're saying there, you're saying that the Eels are about to flog the... your comment suggests the Eels are about to flog the Dogs. Dogs 20 plus. I don't know, I just get... it's a rainy day. There might be a lot of errors here. The Lockie ones. All right, so the Dogs out on the field now. Here we go. Here we go. Big game this one here for the Dogs. You want to go back into first. You need to go back into first. Otherwise, Instagram lights up, man. It's so funny that Instagram lights up when the Dogs just lose one game. It's so funny, man. Like, no one really cared about the Dogs 5 years, like 5, 10. Maybe well, social media wasn't massive in 2014 and 2012. I guess it wasn't as big as it is now, anyway. Social media over the last, like, probably since like 2016 odd, has really picked up absolutely massively. And I think that's where, well, a lot of hatred for the Dogs, I guess, has come because they're very loud in their passion. The crowd loves a Galvanator. Where's entertain us as well? Well, Hayden will be at this game. Hayden would have gone to this game. Stephen Crichton on King's birthday in 2024. He had 2 tries, 1 assist, 2 line breaks, 5 tackle busts. I can feel a big upset in the air. I don't know why I feel like I get where you're coming from, but the Eels will kick it off here. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to Dogs, give up to Max King for the first run. He'll bring this ball to the 15. Now we'll refresh the score because Jay forgot to tell me. Oh my gosh, Jay. Oh my gosh. Same old, eh? In the Hayes playbook. Same old, dearie me. Gonna have to refresh it now. So the Dogs, they're going to bring this ball out to the 23 on third tackle. No, Jay, you can't say score now. You can't say score now. What do you think of Curtis Moran signing? Well, I'm looking forward to a change in the Gold Coast. Like Curtis Moran, great. I just want to see a change, man. That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking for too much. Am I asking for too much in regards to the old Gold Coast Titans actually being able to have a winning season? It feels like a wild statement to even think about having a winning season for us. So the Eels now will bring this ball out here to the 15 to Rizai Yongi. Our choice is Bulldogs to win. Well, you'd expect so. Otherwise, they're going on fraud alert. You lose this game, Dogs, you're on fraud alert central. You're on fraud alert central. Second tackle for the Eels and Addo Carr, the ex-Bulldog. And they are booing him like crazy. Damn, that was a loud boo for Addo Carr. You never, go back 2 years ago, right? Go 2 years ago. Would you have ever conceived the notion that Dogs fans would boo Josh Addo Carr as loudly as they just did? That is fair, Mitchell. I am asking too much, especially when it is all my fault. It is all my fault. Of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah, they're lacking memberships. It's definitely all my fault, as per usual. So Connor Tracy grabs his ball to 1, brings out to the 15, the 20. And strong run there, but to the 25. Good post-contact meters there. It was only about 3 or 4, but it was good post-contact considering. So first tackle now for the Dogs. And they'll get this ball to the 30. Oh, good offload there. Good offload. Matt Burton now brings it out to the 45. Second tackle. Great work. Not the only Josh who's been booed this week. Who's the other Josh that's been booed this week? So third tackle for the Dogs at the 45 on the Eels side of the field. Reed Marnie, he'll go out to the left. Max King. And now to the 35 and fourth tackle. This is a great start here for Canterbury. It's a big crowd too, especially considering it's raining. It's a big crowd as well. Bailey Hayward off to Saluka Fafita, and Saluka Fafita 35 metres out, fit tackle. 3 minutes in, 25 metres out, and Toby Sexton puts that ball up into the air. It's a pretty good kick in a good area. It drops off the Eels. This should be 6 again. They're all offside, yeah, so 6 again here for the Dogs. 20 metres out. 6 again. Is it true that DCE has been ruled out for game 2? Yeah, no, he's not being selected. He's healthy. He's just not being selected. So 10 metres out now. Second tackle. No, so that'll be first tackle because they classed it as a knock-on. So now out to the left, Toby Sexton to Viliami kick-out. And kick-out! 5 metres out. Nearly broke through. Second tackle on your Sean Russell. 6 again for the Dogs. Bailey Hayward up to Max King. This is a great start here for the Bulldogs. If you win by 60, the Titans go second last. Go Dogs. Go Doggies. Hayward up to Sexton. Viliami kick-out. And kick-out now will be about 5 metres away from the line. 6 again. Eels ill-disciplined early doors as well. Reed Marnie, Saluka Fafita. That's 1 metre out. Lucky it wasn't a forward pass. Second tackle. They go out to the left. Reed Marnie off to Toby Sexton. Sexton to Matt Burton. Burton 4 metres away here from the line. Third tackle. Oh, 6 again. Dude, Eels, get the fuck on side. Dogs 1 metre out from the line, second tackle. I mean, you've got to... It's either a bin coming up or there's a warning. Referee, control this shit. Out to Bailey Hayward. Hayward then to Max King. If they give away another 6 again, you've got to bin. There's been like 4 or 5 6 agains in this buddy set. Third tackle, Toby Sexton. Sexton here. The only benefit to the Eels is that it's been on the first tackle every time. Or second tackle. Reed Marnie! Oh, 2 metres short of the line. Fifth tackle. Dogs, you've had so much opportunity to score in this set. Bailey Hayward, Toby Sexton kicks it through. Played at. Dogs knock on. Dogs knock on. So good defense there from Parramatta. Good defense. Well done. Oh, they're saying, yeah, 6 more because it was played at, and then it was a knock on the deck from the Dogs. Sensei says, dogs in the rain ain't a strong thing, but they should have the truth to get them home by 20. I don't know. Like I said, I think the Eels are going to be well up for this game. I did tip the Dogs 1-12, but I just don't think it's going to be the blowout that everyone imagines. Yeah, the Eels are really good defensively there, and considering when you look at the the against this year for the Eels, they've given up 306 points, which is not. It's not even bottom 4. The Raiders have given up 300. So to tell you the difference, the Raiders' attack has been so good this season because the Raiders have given up 300 points and they're in first position. The Eels have given up 306 points and they're in second last. So there's not much of a difference in the Eels and the Raiders defensively, and that is with an extra. Oh, sorry, that is with an extra 2 games played, and 1 game played after this game, obviously. So forget that. But still, not too separate. Not too separate. So third tackle, they go out to the right-hand side. What do the Wars have to do with anything? And then that's going to be a good slap-off there from Kalma Tuolangi, and they'll be taken down to the 40. Jermaine Hop. No, that's Jack Williams. He'll get. Oh, so that was Jermaine Hopgood. I was right. At the 45, fifth tackle, Moses shoves it down the throw to about the 5. Colin Tracy just waiting patiently there. And he'll bring it out to the 20. Sensei says, how they boo Adokar just cause he's a traitor. Okay, so no, that is not why they're booing him. And also traitor is Traitor. The reason why they're booing him is because when they had their most important game in recent history, and that was against Manly last year, they finally made the finals. They won a spoon a few years ago. Dogs knock on. Bailey Hayward. Eels will get the ball here at the 45. Eels will get the ball here, actually at the 40. So big opportunity here for Parramatta. Before their biggest game, he decides to go and do something very silly off the field. And it completely impacted preparations. It took a lot of media limelight away from the onto the club. And when you're playing your first finals game, you don't want the media on your back. You don't want people to be hounding you. You're going to get your normal shit, but you don't want the extra shit. And Adokar really impacted that. I still think Manly are going to win that game, but the point is that there was a lot of distraction there, and then the Dogs got knocked out, and of course they're going to look to. Oh my gosh, that's Parramatta. That's Parramatta for you. That is Parramatta for you. Well done, lads. That is the most Parramatta thing I've ever seen in my life. That is, when I think of Parramatta, that is the most Parramatta thing I think I've ever seen in the history of rugby league. In the history of rugby league, that has got to be the most Parramatta-y thing I've ever seen. That is outrageous. That is just wild. 4-0 to the Bulldogs here. They have a scrum at the 40. They pass it straight to Matt Burton for an intercept and he scores under the post. That is unbelievable. That is actually unbelievable. Like, that is absurd. That is absolutely absurd. You defend this is so Parramatta. You defend so brilliantly for 6 minutes. The Dogs have 6 again after 6 again after 6 again on your line. You defend, you defend, you defend, you defend. They knock it on, and then they get up the other end. They kick the ball down after their set. The ball's come out. They knock it on to the 40. Here's your chance. You've just embarrassed them by not allowing them to score in the opening, 7 minutes of absolute domination. Now you've got a chance to attack and put it really, put your foot on the bloody pedal. And you pass the ball straight to Burton off the scrum for an intercept, and the Dogs will score under the post. That is something out of this world. That is something out of this world. Betsy says, squeals at it again. Jared says, bloody hilarious that was. Jared Troy says, Parramatta Muppet. Sprocket Sports says, Tri-Tong, Bing Bong, Tri-Time, Bing Bong, Muddabish. Ben says, Hayden will be screaming his lungs out in agony watching that horror play. Mate, that was really something. So Stephen Crichton here to convert the try, and it is 6-0 to the Bulldogs. Oh my gosh, Eels. Oh my gosh. Like, you've really got to take a good hard look at yourself after that. And you compliment them. You compliment them. And then they go and do that. Like, it's out of this world, man. I can't stop talking about it. Oh, dude. Who passed it? Riley Smith passed it, man, the hooker. Well, that screwed to Mitch Moses' first try scorer. Mitch Moses, it's a random first try scorer anyway. Jay says Hayden squeals worse than Sam. Does he really? On his vlogs, does he really? Sam's a pretty big squealer. He is a pretty big squealer. So second tackle now for the Dogs at the 25. They're up 6-0. Oh my gosh. By the way, is that poll working for you guys? Because the poll's just not updating for me. I definitely know there's been more than 10 votes on the poll. Like, I know it has. 10 minutes into the first half here, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. This is how's Nathan Highmarsh been? He just had a punch on with Gallon and he won. So it's going to be Eels who grab this ball at the 10. The ball really bounced nicely there for the Dogs. And got him some extra meters at the back. Sam squeals when he eats chili jam. Sam squeals when he has pepper. Casey says she broken. So if you refresh the stream, oh, but no, you would have already voted. Still 10 votes. All right, we're going to start up a new poll. I'm going to start up a new poll here. And that's a knock on there from the Eels. Oh, this is Eels all day. Oh, see, there you go. And now it says 158 votes. There you go. There you go. So knock on there from the Eels. 10 minutes in. Thumbs up and subscribe. Bulldogs get another attack here. Welcome to Parramatta. Welcome to Parramatta Squeals. This is how we do it. All right, we'll change this again. Who will win? Canterbury Bulldogs. Parramatta Squeals. There you go. So there's the poll. Go vote in the poll so I can see what everyone's thinking. Jason Ed says, mate, you reckon Montoya or Cherries could score? Yeah, they could. Yes, they could. Eels' defence has actually been pretty good for the most part, except for when they pass the ball directly to Matt Burton to have first try scorer. So looking for Feeder is 5 metres out from the line, second tackle. Well, you make it right now, JZ. 5 metres away. They give it out to the left. Haywood. Why is it frozen? Now it's back. Toby Sexton. That's going to be touched by Shaw. There away. Zach Lomax. He gives it off. And it's Mitchell Moses at the 40, the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Oh, it's shot time for the Eels out of nowhere. This game is ridiculous. This game is ridiculous. Okay, this game is ridiculous. Hey, well, there's your try scorer, Travesy. There's your try scorer. What the hell am I watching? What are we watching, lads? What is happening? What are we watching right now? Deary me. And Burton's the one who passed that, by the way. Lomax catches it and gives it to Moses, and Moses just has just enough to get around Connor Tracy there. Deary me. So the Eels will score. This is a wild start to this game. The Bulldogs scored completely against the run of play, and then the Eels have scored completely against the run of play. And you know what's crazy? Both tries have come from the opposition knocking on. Both of these tries have come from the opposition knocking on. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. The only sense it makes is nothing. Deary me, I'm going to put my phone on charge. Well, what a start of this game. That's all I know. Lomax and Moses again had to make up for that scrum bollock somehow. Well, it wasn't Moses or Lomax's fault for the Dogs try. Hey, my bro, it's the cat that supports the Eels. There's plenty of cats that support Eels, don't you? You worry. There's one kicking right now. So, Zach Lomax, conversion from the sideline. He will get the kick. There you go. He slaps it through. 6-6 with 27 minutes to go the first half. Ben says, Hayden will be screaming his lungs out in amazement now. Ben, are you here to give us a play-by-play of what Hayden's doing in life? I'm surprised you haven't told us he's probably going to go get a buddy quarter pounder meal at McDonald's later on today. Brenton says, Lomax passed to Moses for pace. That's saying something, Mitchie. That is. Mitchell says, the key to this game is to give the ball up. The key to this game The key to this game is to knock the ball on. Yes, you're right, Mitchell. You are right. The key to this game is to knock the ball on. No. Yes. No. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the key to this game is to knock the ball on. And it's a penalty to Parramatta. Oh, man. No, please don't keep me updated, Ben. That was me trying to subtly tell you to stop. Travis says he's getting the New South Wales Blues box at McDonald's. Thank you, mate. So it's a penalty here to the Eels for a shoulder charge against Saluka Fafita. Shoulder charge against Saluka Fafita. Jimmy James says, yay, Para. So they're going to get this ball here to the halfway point. Nice one, wannabe LeBron. Eels now. So it's going to be Riley Smith off to Junior Bolo, and he's going to be 45 metres out from the line. Deary mate. So second tackle, 38 metres away from the line. And now Junior Bolo out to Moses. Moses gets it out to Will Penasini, and Penasini is going to be 35 metres out. And Kelma Tuolungi back to Mitchell Moses. Oh my gosh, he nearly knocked the ball on. Key to this game is knocking the ball on, lads. Knock the ball on. Knock the ball on. 20 metres away from the line for the Eels. Riley Smith gives it to Hopgood, Dylan Brown. 6 again here for Parramatta. This is their first attack of the game. I know they're 6-6. This is their first attack of the game here. So Riley Smith off to Hopgood. And Hopgood's going to be 10 metres away from the line, second tackle. 15 minutes in. Riley Smith off to Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown at the back here. Oh, Yongi's over the sideline. Good defense, Dogs. Good defense, Dogs. The Eels go over the sideline. Now the Dogs will get the ball to the 10. I thought he was going to give that ball to Addo-Carr. If he passes to Addo-Carr, I'd probably back in Addo-Carr to score there. I think he should have passed that ball to Addo-Carr. I think he would have been able to get... Connor Tracy would have come across nicely, but I do think that Addo-Carr had an opportunity. Crichton is a very good defender there. Very good defender. So 25 minutes left of the first half. Dogs ball. Toby Sexton rolls it back here to Matt Burton. Off to Marcelo Montoya. And Montoya will be at the 13 first tackle. Matt Burton to Seri. And now at the 20. This is shaping up to be a really good, fun game to watch, mind you. It's shaping up to be one of the crackers. Shandor says Galvin to earn a late Origin call-up tonight and immortal status. Thank you, Shandor. Probably not going to be happening that. Probably not going to be happening that. Probably not going to be happening. Also, what position does he play? Can you answer me that question? What position is he at the Bulldogs? Where are you putting him? Where is Lachlan Galvin being put in the Bulldogs? Because they're not going to be taking out Sexton and they're not going to be taking out Burton today. And they've also got a 13 on the bench in Kurt Mann. So where is he? But Bailey Hayward is the 13, and they've got Kurt Mann as a 13 replacement. So where is Galvin going today? Second tackle now for the Eels, unless they're just going to play him as a third half. Eels at the halfway point, third tackle. Because I originally did say 13, Lock Brenton, but... where does he go today? Is a good question. Fourth tackle now to Parramatta. 42 metres out from the line. Riley Smith goes out to the left. Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown then to Kitiano Kautonga. And Kautonga will be getting the offload away to Dylan Brown. Gets his ball to the 30, to 25. It's a great offload. He could always go back to the school. There is the option to do that. Just without the option to do that, considering he's on a big contract. Dog slapped at the 5. Coach's pet seems fitting. Well, clearly they're saying goodbye to Toes, but it's like just in this game, they're not going to be taking out the 7 and the 6. I would assume that the only option for him in this game is a 13 to play. Wow, that's a fantastic tackle. Montoya nearly taken over the sideline. Not a great deal of meters being made here. They're at 15, third tackle. They're at the 20 on fourth tackle. Not a great deal of meters here from the Dogs. So the only sensible option is 13, but then maybe they're using Kurt Mann as a front row rotation. Bulldogs here, fifth tackle at the 35. Because their bench has got Harry Hayes, Lipoi Hopoi, and Kurt Mann. So, anyway, interesting. So the Eels get slapped there. Yongi from Viliami kick out, taken back in his own 20. And they'll roll it back to Dylan Brown, who's going to go out to the left. The Eels slow to get back, man. Look at all those players, how slow they are to get back. So look, Fafita comes off and Harry Hayes comes on. Not Kurt Mann. He's not in the front row rotation. Third tackle. Out to Katonga. Katonga, the Fijian international, nearly knocked that ball on. 4 tackling out to 40. Strong bench, though. Is it Lipoi, Hapoi, Harry Hayes, Kurt Mann, and Galvin? Is it? Strong bench? I don't know. I've seen better benches. Like, I think that it's okay. But I wouldn't say necessarily I'll put it up there with the best interchanges that we've seen across the season and across the 17 teams. So the Dogs here, they'll get taken down to the 35, second tackle. 21.5 minutes left first half. Matt Burton out to the right-hand side. Jay Kiraz, and Kiraz will be at the 42, third tackle. It's a weird bench in my opinion. Because again, there's no guaranteed spot for Galvin. Kurt Mann is kind of where Galvin should effectively be going unless he's going to the halves, which they're not going to change the halves. And Harry Hayes and Lipoi Hapoi are two okay forwards. And that's going to be knocked down from Lomax there. So a knock on there from the Eels on the 45 on the Eels side of the field. Galvin will get the same amount of game time as us. There is the potential for that. This could just be like a media play, to be honest with you. It could just be. ASD, so just saw the team list for Queensland. How is Ezra Mam there? Unfortunately, Ezra Mam is a very good player. He may not be a very fantastic role model. He may be an awful role model. But Billy Slater is involving the team based off of his pure rugby league ability, which is very good. But I disagree completely with him being allowed into the lineup. But then again, it is what it is. We can't do anything about it. And unfortunately, he's there. He won't play in the game. He's not going to be in the 17. But yeah, I disagree with him being allowed back into the Origin arena. So the Dogs now, they give it out to Marcelo Montoya with the try time. 10-6 to the Dogs. 10-6 to the Dogs with 20 minutes to go in the first half. Thumbs up and subscribe. The Dogs will score. Montoya. Well, someone asked if Montoya could score before. Well, he just did. Ezra will be the bus driver for Queensland. That was an awful defence there from the Eels. That was a free run at the line. I was expecting the fullback to be there. I was expecting a winger to be back, but no one was there. Jay says, I like how he made his ult from the entire second row of the keyboard. I just realised what Brenton said. I shouldn't have read that out. I just realised in my head what he was saying. You're a muppet, Brenton. Oh boy, couldn't think of a name. Yeah, I'm just going to call you ASD, mate. ASD it is. So 10-6. So Montoya this season, 5 tries this season. He's got 6 against the Eels all time, 10 at the Core Stadium and 54 in his career. Kay says, I've got all the wingers to score a try each. Well, you've got one. Oh, you've got 1 of 4. The other 2 tries were scored by a halfback and a 5'8". Both effectively from intercepts. Eels one, a little bit different, but still, no, it was just an intercept. It's just Lomax was the one who got the intercept, but then passed it off. All right, so a bit of a more difficult kick here for Crichton. It's not too bad though. I think Montoya did cut in a little bit, just not too much. Whereas Milford these days, probably retired. Probably retired, man. Unless he's in the Super League, probably retired. Anthony Milford would definitely be getting on now. He was at the back end of his career when he was at the Dolphins like 3-4 years ago. Crichton will get the kick. So it will be 12-6 to the Bulldogs. 8.5 minutes to go here. Anthony Milford age. To be fair, he's only 30. To be fair, he is only 30. But his career just completely derailed, unfortunately. I think he was playing for Samoa still in that last World Cup, no? But I don't know where he is, actually. I should see. Anthony Milford. I don't even know why we're bringing him up, though, to be fair. He plays as 5'8" and halfback for the South Logan Magpies. There you go. Plays at South Logan. Yes, I went and saw Lilo and Stitch last night. Yeah. So 18.5 minutes to go the first half, and it will be Eels kicking this ball off to the Dogs down at the corner, where Burton will catch it, gives it off to Maxi King, Bushka. Jazz says, how was the cheese? Oh, it was great, mate. I did have the cheese popcorn. It was fantastic. They also had, they didn't actually have caramel. They had cheese popcorn, they had salted popcorn, they had sweet popcorn, they had truffle popcorn, and they had chocolate popcorn. That's what they had. They had 5 different options. It was unbelievable. Noah says up the Dogs. Well, they're up right now. They haven't been too convincing just yet, but they're up right now. Cheese popcorn is the best. Oh, mate, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I had it the other week when I went to see Mission Impossible, and then I came and told everyone here yesterday, and then someone was saying caramel popcorn, and I said, maybe I'll try it, but that cheese popcorn was so good. But I couldn't be doing it. I couldn't betray and disrespect the ultimate overlord of cheese popcorn. So first tackle now for the Eels at the 15. Dogs all the way. Yep, no, we get it. Noah, we know you're a Dogs fan. Second tackle now. So Dylan Walker comes on here for the Eels. So does Matt Dury. Third tackle now at the 25. Eels out of the right-hand side. Now to the 35 through Isaiah Yongi. Possession-wise, it's 58% for the Dogs and 42% for the Eels. You can definitely tell it. Out to the right. They're away here, the Eels. They're away at the 40. They give it off to... Back to Lomax. Then Lomax gives it up to Pansini. Pansini steps around. He's at the 40 on the Dogs up the field. He's still going here. And now it's going to be a fit tackle at the 33. Good run, though. Very good run. Out to Mitchell Moses. Moses off to Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown then to Cole Tonga. Cole Tonga. They flick it. Switch left-hand side. Josh Adokar. Adokar and fit tackle. Steps. He's still going here. Adokar still going. It's fit tackle, dude. Pass will kick the ball, Adokar. What are you doing? What is he doing? He did such good work and then just gave the ball back to the Dogs. That made no sense. Gee whiz. Got the bus from school. Is it not a public holiday in Queensland? Toby Sevens says, g'day, g'day. How's everybody? Mate, we're surviving. We are living. We are living, Barry. So it must only be a public holiday in New South Wales then. I would have no idea. I don't live by a public holiday schedule and I'm not even in the country. Third tackle now at the 25. So when's the King's birthday in Queensland then? Not a pub holiday here either. Had ours last week. It's so strange how it's just not on the day, or at least on the Monday of the week that it's that it actually is. So Burton, I don't know why the crowd's booing. The crowd booing. Were they trying to say there was a late hit on the kicker? He didn't even take him down. Yeah, Jay did survive the gang attack. He did. He did. King's birthday is 3 different days. Damn, I would love to have 3 different birthdays. 3 different birthdays? How good. But not one of them can be in December. Anyone who has a birthday in December or January, unfortunately, you failed. Maybe late January. Any time in December is off limits because Christmas is going to ruin it. Christmas is going to ruin your presents because you're going to get all your presents then, and you're not going to get 2 lots of presents. You need to have it like a May. May beautiful, mate. May beautiful for birthdays, or even in June, even in July. But it just sounds weird saying my birthday's June or July. It does. My mate's born Jan 1. Well, his birthday is always... He can never have his birthday last year. So Bulldogs get this ball to the 33, first tackle. Okay, yeah, no. Again, guys, remember there is a line here. Remember not to be too silly in the chat. Unfortunately, I'm responsible for comments like that. So Dogs now will get this ball to the 50 on third tackle. And now they're going to go out to the right-hand side. Reed Marnie off to Sexton. Sexton to Colin Tracy. Colin Tracy gives it to Crichton. Crichton here at the 40, the 35, the 30. Great run, but no one followed him up. No one followed him up. Canterbury says, what about August birthdays? I always feel like they're just there, says the guy who has an August birthday. August is a bit like a what? I don't think August is as weird as saying my birthday's in July, you know, or June. You know, August I can get behind. I don't mind it. I don't mind a bit of an August birthday. Don't mind a bit of an August birthday. It's not when my birthday is, but Adokar gets his ball to the 10. Scuggle says, I reckon the Titans team could beat the Queensland team. Yeah, no, that was absolutely incredible to see someone actually say a comment like that. It was incredible to see that comment, especially after the first half against the Broncos that we saw. It was wild to me. It was just it was insane. So third tackle, ball at the 20. Zach Lomax now gets his ball to the 25, fourth tackle. There is an injury here. I don't know what's happening. No, okay, why did he... I hate when referees just whistle for the sake of whistling. There was literally nothing that happened. Fifth tackle now for the Eels at the 33. Kautonga rolls back to Riley Smith. And then Moses kicks his ball into the corner, where Marcel Montoya gets it at the 20, 25, 30, 35. Bang! Jeez, that was a hard run. That was a hard run. Skungle forgot there was a game on today. Well, you haven't been here for barely any streams this weekend, Skungle. So you forget a game on every day. You forget there's like 8 games a weekend or something. Yeah, I know. Unbelievable, Jay. I know. It's good that you called him out for it. Good that I'm too scared to call him out for it. Anyone born on April 1st? No. It's a joke. If you're born on April 1st, unfortunately, you are a joke. You are a joke. Fourth tackle now at 35. I wouldn't believe it's your birthday. I wouldn't do it. I would not believe it. Fifth tackle, Matt Burton at the 24. Fortnite Boy. No, Fortnite Boy is a man named Ronaldo Molotalo, Jay. That is Fortnite Boy. So Matt King, knock on from the Dogs. Definitely, I don't know why people are celebrating. It's very clearly a knock on. Why are Dogs fans even thinking of celebrating this? The whole crowd erupted. 86 says January Hay is forced, mate. No, it's not. No, it's not. If your birthday is after maybe the 15th, I'd say the 15th. If your birthday is pre-January 15th, but pre-January 15th, you're still amongst that Christmas period, you're not getting jack shit. January 15th to 31st, now you're getting back into the normal part of the year. 15th, 1st, in between, forget it. Forget it. You're getting a piece of paper saying, appreciate you for a birthday gift. Because the money's gone on New Year's and bloody Christmas. A6 is 7th. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. So it'll be Kelman Twalangi gets his ball here at 4th tackle to the 35. Sunday says, my mate is born that day. I didn't believe him for like 5 years. I still don't believe him. He can show me a passport and I'd think that it's a joke. Jimmy James says, my birthday is the end of May, but I always wanted a late spring or early summer birthday. Mine's on the 4th of May. Mine's on the 4th. So I'm with you, but you're a Gemini. I don't even know what that means, to be fair. I just know them because my mum gets into star signs, but I don't know what it means. Somlith says, anyone know how many attend this NRL game? Probably a good 60,000. There's a lot of people there. Maybe 50,000. 13-month calendar worked out better and more accurate. Oh, here's the conspiracy coming out. Stephen Crichton, third tackle to the 40 on the Dogs side of the field. The possessions come back a little bit to 54%, 54% and 56% Dogs' way. 6 again of the Dogs. They were 1 metre outside the 40, otherwise they would have got the penalty. First tackle for the Dogs at the halfway point. 10 minutes to go the first half, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It is a 12-6 ball game. Reid Marnie goes for a little scoot to the 35-second tackle. More than 72, I reckon. More than 72? 72,000, you reckon? So, you reckon 72,000 people have come? No way. No way. Crichton flicks this one off to Hayward. Hayward here, third tackle. Now will be 13 metres out, fourth tackle. You probably are looking around 60, but 70 is crazy for mine. Fifth tackle now, 3 metres out. That's 59,000 more than Dogs games 7 years ago. Maybe not 7 years ago, but definitely like... Actually, no, maybe 7 years ago, yeah. Yeah, 2017 through till... And removing COVID, 2017 till like 2023, yeah, Dogs crowds were not unbelievable. They were not unbelievable. Yeah, head clash there between two Eels players. So unfortunately, there's going to have to be a HIA here. Now the Dogs on fifth tackle. Kick this ball across. Crichton goes up, but really good take there from Dylan Brown at the 3. Doggy, woof, woof. Well, they're not woof, woofing just yet, but they are doggy. Second tackle now to the 8 for the Eels. I'm born same day as John Jones, July 19. Yeah, well, I'm born same day as The Rock. We've both got the same body as well. We've both got the same body, me and The Rock. You know, it's really hard for him knowing that I got the better body, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes in life, you just got to work harder. Then you just got to work harder. Maybe go to Hua Hin in Thailand, get fit. You know. So the Eels will kick this one down to the 10, to the 20, where Con Tracy picks it up, gets to the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40. Con Tracy's been really solid today. To be fair, he is one of the more underrated fullbacks in the game. It's funny, Con Tracy, one of the most underrated fullbacks in the game. Luke Metcalf, really starting to make a move in regards to being a halfback. He's currently leading the Dally M leaderboard before it went behind closed doors. Both ex-Sharks players. Unfortunately, Kyle Flanagan has not been able to take over the reins as underrated halfback as well. Oh, Dogs! Nearly knocked that ball on there through Kurt Mann, but it's going to be fit tackle at 33. Nate says, I'm born the same day as Einstein. Unfortunately, there's no correlation there, unfortunately. Oh, and how'd the Eels pick that up? Damn, there was a volley from what, Stephen Crichton? Yeah, a volley from Stephen Crichton, but it went straight into the Eels' hands. I don't know how Crichton was able to get such a good kick away, like a good connection with that. Damn, Katongi tries to get the offload away 24 metres out, but it does go straight to Isaiah Yongi, who could have easily knocked that ball on, but it didn't. The Rock don't wear a Chuck's dishcloth as a bandana, though. Do you know why? Because he doesn't have hair. So fit tackle, no forward tackle, the offload away. Mitchell Moses gets his ball to the 45. It's usually a telltale sign that someone's not going to wear the bandana if they're bald, my friend. So the Dogs will pick that up at the 20, and now will be taken down here at the 25. But does he sweat? Bandana's not necessarily, well, I wear it for sweat, but they're not always just meant for sweat. This actually is more of a sweatband. No, Gary, unfortunately, Travis, we have a rule, and you found it out yesterday. You do get time to have 5 minutes. No, you guys are going to stop picking on Gary until he's here. You can only pick on Gary when he's here. I said this. Otherwise, the chat floods about Gary stuff. Look, Toby hasn't mentioned him. So the Dogs now get this ball second tackle to the 40. Don't talk shit about him so openly. Unless he's here to defend himself. So right hand side of the Dogs, they nearly get away. They'll be 25 metres out of the line, third tackle. It ain't banner if they aren't here. Yeah, I know. It's just shit house if they're not here. So Dogs now 13 metres away. Pat Cash. Very Pat Cash-like. Toby Sexton underneath, and they'll be 5 metres out. Never played a game in the NRL where I haven't gone trialist. Eels need to sign me to a 1 year, $10 million deal. I would have you banned from a core stadium if it was up to me. And, well, Sarri's tried to knock that back in. It's going to be, they're going to say dropout. No, they are going to say 7 tackle set for the Eels at 20. Gary's never broken a sweat. He lives in England. That is a good point. There is no such thing as sun there. And I don't think, is it humid or dry in England when they do get to the really excruciatingly hot times of like 28 degrees? First tackle now for the Eels at the 40. Well, I did say they'd be up for a close one here. I don't think the Eels win, but I did say they'd be up for a close one. Johnny McEnroe, what a man. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious! Third tackle now at the 45. Please ban me from that shithouse stadium. Yeah, no, that's a good point. You do want that. A core stadium is not exactly the greatest stadium to be a part of. I'm not a fan of a core stadium at all, actually. That should be 6 again there for the Eels. They haven't called it. Fourth tackle. Eels short ball. Oh, he couldn't get away. The offload, Jack Williams. He did have someone coming up underneath. Riley Smith to Moses. All right, the kick goes up. It might be a slip over. It's going to be still fit tackle. The Eels knock it back. They get off to Riley Smith. And then Smith kicks his ball across to Adam Carr. Adam Carr! Oh, but he couldn't catch it, and he kicks it back onto the inside. Oh, no, it's going to be a penalty to Parramatta. What does he call? Oh, it's off. I don't know what's just happened here. So they've come back, I think, for Moses being taken late or something. And then he just allowed advantage to be played. I do like that for the referee to allow advantage to be played, but is it for Riley Smith getting taken out? It must have come back from the Moses. That's weird. We've got some high 20s coming up this week. How good? Stay safe, mate. High 20s. Outrageous. Wait, Viliami Kikau. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a bin. Oh, Viliami Kikau's going to the bin here. I would love to come back and see it. Can Fox please show us the hit here? So Kikau has gone to the bin. Here we go. Moses up. Like, he does contact his leg. A bin's crazy, but like it does contact his leg, so that is a penalty. It is a penalty, but I don't know about a bin. I don't believe that should be a bin, but I do. It's definitely a penalty. You 10 the bin's crazy, but it's definitely a penalty. So 20 metres out now from the line for the Eels. 13 on 12 until 33 minutes to go of the game. And they give it off here to Kidioni Kautonga here on the Tuk Mitchell. Second tackle, 15 metres away. They go to the right. Gives it off here to Junior Polo. Polo! Shoots over the Eels! Dylan Walker comes through with a great offload from Polo. And it's 12-10 with a kick to come. Case is using the bin. Viliami Kikau went to the bin, and the Eels have found a way to tie this game up because it's right onto the post. Great offload there from Junior Polo, with Dylan Walker just running straight underneath the post. Contact of the leg last year was just penalty. Did they make changes to that? I must have missed something. So he has made contact with the kicking leg. They have made that a bin, but like it's just rough to see. It's rough to see that that's considered a bin nowadays, but it is definitely a penalty. It is definitely a penalty. Just notice the scam watch of the Sharks. Can you see watch? Brenton, does it say watch there? Is there a watch? It just says scam because they are massive scammers in Cronulla. Massive! Don't start me on Cronulla right now. You missed a 10 times worse bin than Jared. Yeah, these are cool bins, to be fair, but I guess going back 10, 15 years, you just look at that and go, shit, man, that'd barely be a penalty, but it's definitely a penalty now, at least. Sam loves a good watch. Does love a good watch, that bloke. He should watch himself, too. He should watch himself as well. All right, so 12-12 with 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Ask Eliza. Yeah, Eliza is a good one to know what Skunkle's up to. Eliza doesn't come to the streams anymore because she's too busy with Skunkle. They actually just use the one account. I'm surprised that Skunkle hasn't got one of those, Facebook accounts right now that has both names and the last name. Someone says, look, I'm all for protecting the kicker, but Moses quite literally flopped to milk it. Regardless, it's a penalty. Bin, it's debatable, but it's absolutely a penalty. It has to be something done, or you're going to get a game like football. I'm a football supporter where players just milk. So infuriating. Sure, but that was absolutely a penalty. There's no debate whether that was a penalty or not. At the end of the day, he contacts the kicker's leg. At the end of the day, it's just straight. It's also a foul it's a flag in NFL as well. The bin, that's debatable. You can debate about that, but there is absolutely no debate in regards to contacting the kicker's leg. So third tackle now, and you can't tell me that Viliami Kikau running into the right leg as it's horizontal isn't a penalty. Again, I don't necessarily believe it's a bin. I think that that's a rough call, but it is relatively consistent. So that was a good line there from Jack Williams too, but he knocked the ball on. He saw the line. He saw the hole. He went for it, but he does drop the ball. Reese77 says bring on Galvin. You're not going to see Galvin until like 20 minutes to go, if that. But 2 minutes left, and the Dogs will get the ball here. Shared accounts are cute. That's what I'm thinking Sam should do. Seth Watson says, high 20s will mean we have to mark ourselves as safe on Facebook, Jay. Yeah, no, that is definitely something that England has to do. I'm surprised Luai didn't get binned yesterday. A couple of those calls were very dubious against the Tigers. Second tackle now at the 45. It's definitely a penalty, but how is that putting a kicker in a dangerous position which constitutes the bin when Moses clearly shucked himself? I know you're not disagreeing, just the ref. Dogs bally, third tackle at 33. It does put him into a dangerous position based off of the contact of the leg twisting your body around. Crichton taking down the 20. It twists the body around. Moses has milked that. I absolutely agree, but I don't disagree with the referee saying it's a high chance of injury. I don't believe it's a high chance of injury, but it does twist the body around. Field goal potential here if they want. No, Reid Marty goes left hand side of Burton. Burton kicks it through, and the Eels will grab it. And Nyongi gets out, and he might get away here. He may get away here, and no, they couldn't get the ball one more time outside Sean Russell. So first tackle, 52 seconds to go, and Josh Adokar will get this ball to the 20, to the 25. Good run by Adokar. 47 seconds left here, second tackle. Samoan Metalheads, this new subscriber, love your commentary. Appreciate you, bro. We're here for every single game live. Get around ya. Just unfortunately, when you have to watch Titans games with me, just be prepared for an absolute shit show. Outside of that, we have a good time. But when we're watching the Titans, it's not a good time for anybody. Not for me and not for you guys. So Dylan Walker at the fifth tackle. Maybe it might be exciting for you guys watching the Titans games with me because you're seeing how displeasant it is for me. Okay, Zach Lomax, go to the sheds. Go to the sheds and don't come back. That was the worst 2-point field goal I might have ever seen in my life. So Marcelo Montoya, 8 seconds left here of the first half, and he'll get this ball to the 35. Up the Waz, yeah, Waz, good win on Saturday. Moses milked it so hard he should be playing for Berra. That's too smart of an insult, mate. Come on. And knock on there from the Dogs. That's too smart. That's too smart of an insult. No, if this is a serious channel, that's too funny. That's too funny for us. Come on. But halftime here, 12-12. Who is booing? Who is booing? There has not been enough of a controversial. The referee hasn't been bad. You can debate whether that's a bin, and that's fine. If you want to debate if that's a bin, you can. But the booing from the crowd is outrageous if you think that the referee is like against your team. And I'm assuming it's Dogs fans because Eels fans, there wouldn't be a great deal probably there. But whoever's booing, what on earth are you doing? What on earth are you doing? It's a good game right now. 12-12, tie game at halftime. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get into some of these stats here at the half. And obviously let me know your thoughts in the chat. Now, regards to give him a standing ovation. Well, to be fair, Mitchell, actually, the Knights were booed at halftime against the Knights were booed against Manly, 16-0 down, and came back to win. So maybe the booing is intentional. Titans fans should boo the Gold Coast from before the game starts, and then maybe they might turn up for the 80 minutes. That'd be good. Don't boo, please. I'm joking. Please don't boo. So possession, 54% of the Dogs, 46% for the Eels. Time possession is 15 minutes and 23 seconds for the Dogs, 13 minutes and 31 seconds for the Eels. Completion rate for Canterbury is actually very good, especially in wet weather. 92%, which is 23 from 25. That's a very good stat there for the Dogs considering it's wet weather footy. 76% for the Eels, which is 16 from 21, which is nearly average, but still you don't want to be making 5 errors, but close enough to the 80% that you're looking for. All runs is 102 to the Dogs, 76 to the Eels, so 26 more runs there for the Dogs. These will update half time. Just take this as a guide. 1,023 run meters for the Bulldogs, 703 run meters there for the Eels. So if you average it out, 26 runs, 260 meters, that's 963 for the Eels to the 1,023. So the Dogs are in the lead by about 60 metres if you're giving them both equal possession and equal ball, based on that 10 metres per run stat metric. Post-contact metres is 302 to 211. That's well in advantage there of the Dogs, regardless of the fact. Actually, no, it's not too well in advantage, but it's still an advantage for the Dogs if you equal it out. Line breaks is 2-1 Eels way. Tackle breaks is 21-15 of the Eels. The Dogs are missing a bucket load of tackles. But the way this game is shaping up is that the Dogs have got a lot of those metres to the middle that is in advantage by a decent enough bit. 40.94 average set distance. That is really good. That's well, not really, really good, but it's like it's good. It's better than the average of 35 and 40. They're just on the lower end of the really good. I'll say really good. 45 to 50 is fantastic. 50 plus is out of this world. So yeah, lower end of really good there for the Dogs, 40.94. Eels are at 34.95, which is not even averaging at a basic level. Now, it is wet weather footy, but considering you can see the Dogs are at least getting 40 to 41 metres per set, 34.95, not even reaching the 35 threshold, the basic floor of what you should be expecting on an average set distance is not great. And again, if the Dogs had a low set distance, I'd be saying, okay, it's the wet weather. But that's not good enough there from the Eels. 34.95 is in the not good category. They've come up to 35.73 now, so you'll take that. But still, it's on the very low end of average now. Average play the ball speed is 3.52 for the Dogs, 3.47 for the Eels. It's a wet weather game, so you're not going to expect too fast there. Usually, you probably see from the Dogs playing a little bit faster, 40 at 3.10. But this is obviously at 3.54 now, which tells you the weather. Offloads is 6-3, Bulldogs way. And then 50% kick defusal for the Dogs, 62% kick defusal for the Eels. I don't know if there has been... There might have been... They haven't shown a dropout here, but there has been, I think, one forced dropout, which was from the Dogs to the Eels. No, and then was there an Eels to Dogs one? I can't remember, but it doesn't have any dropouts here. Defensively, both teams not really doing enough here. 88% is the floor, the marker. The Dogs were at 86.92%. The Eels were at 87.83%. So the Dogs defensively have not been that great. 186 tackles made with 20 missed tackles and 8 ineffectives. So that's 28 missed tackles. No, sorry, 28 bad tackles in the first half. So it's getting close. It's not there, but it's getting close enough to the, one bad tackle per... Well, it's over 2 minutes. It's like one bad tackle per minute 20. Like, that's pretty rough. Or 1 minute 30 or whatever it is. Or close enough to 1 minute 30. That's a pretty poor defensive stat there for the first half. But 86.92% isn't extremely poor, but it's still pretty poor. And then 87.83% isn't at the floor either, but it's a little bit better. 202 tackles made for 15 missed tackles and 13 ineffective. So that's 28 bad tackles for the Eels too. They're both at 28 bad tackles. It's just the Eels have missed 5 less tackles, but they've had 5 more ineffective. I would prefer to have ineffective than missed tackles, though. So that's a beneficial to the Eels there in regards to missed tackles comparatively, but both isn't exactly a great defensive stat line. The Eels are a little bit better, though. Negative plays, 6 errors to the Dogs, 7 errors to the Eels. You're going to expect high errors in a wet weather game. Penalties conceded is 2-0. And I'm also not saying that that's fine. I'm not saying that's acceptable there from either team. But I'm just saying you're going to expect those higher error counts in these games. The Knights will have a score at 13 errors. To put the Bulldogs and Eels errors together, and then you'll have the Newcastle Knights in the first half. So this is a lot better than theirs, but 7, and that's on a dry track. It's 7 errors to the Eels and 6 to the Dogs. Penalties conceded is 2-0 Dogs way, so no penalties against the Eels yet, and a low amount against the Bulldogs too. Ruck infringements is 3-0 Eels way. Inside 10 metres is 2-0 Eels way. Damn, the Eels are getting nothing from the Dogs there. On reports is 2 for the Dogs, and obviously that one sin bin there for Viliami Kickout. So these stats show a very interesting game. The Eels are a bit better defensively. Not that either team is fantastic. The kick defensal's not great from either team. The Dogs are getting more offloads. The play the ball speeds, the Eels have actually gone 3.38 now, so getting a little bit faster, but they're still quite slow for the both of them. Eels are making those tackle breaks. They're getting those line breaks. Run meters is definitely an advantage of the Dogs. I don't know. There's a reason why I thought this game was going to be close, and it's proven it so far. Sure, could there be a blowout? Sure, could things change around the second half? But this is why I said Bulldogs won at 12, because I did think the Eels would be up for it. If the Dogs win this game, they go back to first. If the Dogs lose this game, they stay in second, and then next week have to win, otherwise they go fourth. So it's a big game here for the Dogs to win. Sean Russell makes me confident anyone can make first grade. That's the first comment that I come back to. Brenton says, booing does work. I think the Knights fans have booed their team more than once this season. It finally did work out, though. It finally did pay out. Travis says, I've always been a supporter of who I shall not name, but yeah, I get it, I'll own it. I don't even know what you're talking about. Did you watch the French Open final last night? It was a great match. I did hear that it was a great comeback from Carlos Alcaraz or whatever. Jack Williams looks like a steal and a half. Well, Jack Williams was really poor at the Sharks. He's 50-50 at the Eels. He does have some really good games, and he does have some really poor games. Maybe Dogs fans should write like LA right now. Okay, we had to bring up the LA riots, did we? Is that what we had to do? Oh, man. Reckon Perth Bears be gunning for Sexton. Well, I hear the Gold Coast is thinking about him again. It's like he's from the coast. He'd love to come back, but it's just like going back to an ex. It's like you didn't think he was good enough. He's gone to the Dogs, and then he's done what he's needed to do there, and then you've said that, oh, wait, no, he might be good enough. Welcome to the Gold Coast Titans organisation. Welcome to the Titans. And it's like, I don't think they were wrong to move on from Tobes, but also Tobes was a big portion as to why Jamal left, whether you're on the it's Jamal's fault or the club's fault side, there's a bit of both in regards to it. So, look, Perth Bears might, but I think that, Perth will have bigger fish that they'll be looking towards. And if you look towards the competition right now, you need a peak 7 to dominate. And Moses, actually, to be fair, you don't. To be fair, you don't. Because Moses is in second last. Nathan Cleary's in, fourth last? Fifth last? But then again, the Tigers don't have a peak 7. I'm sorry, Jerome Luai isn't a peak 7 for me yet. He's peak 6, but peak 7 I don't know about. The halfback position is the most important, but I guess it is very balanced right now. It is very balanced. Because the Sharks are still in the top 5 and they've got a guy who shouldn't be a halfback. Still believe he's a 6. I don't think they focus enough on it. Jamal Foggy's really good. I still don't. Actually, it's a bit confusing. If you look at it all, the teams in the top 3, you never would have thought a couple of years ago that Fogarty, Toby Sexton, and Luke Metcalf are the ones in the lead. Storm got Jerome Hughes, but I don't know. Maybe the 7 isn't as important overall as I thought. Maybe it is just about the balance nowadays. It used to be just about fullbacks. It really did. It used to be just about who was your fullback. James Tedesco was clearly the best player for the Roosters. I don't know, maybe not Billy. Well, Billy Slater, but he was a part of Cooper Cronk and Cameron Smith as well. I don't know. There was just a real solid decade of just fullback action. Just fullback action. If you don't have a good fullback like a Tommy T, you're not even going to be competitive. But now I guess it is just a lot more balanced. But guys, it is half time. I'm going to run to the bathroom here quickly before the second half does start. It's a great game we've got here. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe and keep voting in the poll. We've got about 213 votes there. Probably more, actually about 300, but it's just we had to start up a new poll. So keep voting in that. Get in the chat. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll be back in just a few moments. Okay, we're back. We're back! What are you saying? There's something moving back there? All it was is that. There's nothing moving back jack shit. It's just a painting. Can you hear myself? Alright. There we go. Alright, still waiting here for the second half. What are the games we have next week? Are there some good games here? Are there some good games next week? So round 15, we have Sharks Dragons on Thursday. Sharks should win that, but shit, that's just such an underwhelming game considering. Titans Manly on Friday. And then we've got Knights, Roosters Saturday, Cowboys, Dolphins on Saturday as well, and then Rabbitohs, Dogs on Sunday. That is a pretty underwhelming round next week. I think that's a pretty underwhelming. That's a pretty underwhelming round. Like, game of the round probably should be Rabbitohs, Dogs. Maybe Cowboys, Dolphins, but I'd probably say Rabbitohs, Dogs looks like the game of the round. But Cowboys, Dolphins might be it. That is a really That is That is very because the buys are Broncos, Eels, Panthers, Raiders, Storm, Warriors, and the Tigers. Damn. So regardless, the Eels are probably going to be above the Titans next week anyway. To be fair, because I can't see us beating Manly. If we do, then great. What about round 16? So there's some good games there. Tigers, Raiders. Warriors, Panthers will be fun to watch. Dolphins, Knights. Rabbitohs, Storm. They put some good games together. Broncos, Sharks should be a belter in 2 weeks. Broncos, Sharks should be an absolute belter. Roosters, Cowboys. Hey, Eels fans, we play in 2 weeks. Hey! Oh no! You're going to have to deal with me during that game. I'm probably going to have to deal with you, to be fair, because my team, not fun to watch right now. But it says, why are we glazing Galvin so hard? He won't even get in the game. Me? When have I glazed Galvin? He may play for like 10 minutes at max, but like I said before, I doubt he plays. Because, like, what position does he even play? What position did he come into? Second half's about to start here. Dogs running out of the field. Like, I don't know where he comes in. They've got 13 cover. They're not going to change their halfback, and they're not going to change their 5'8". So I don't even know where he comes in. But the Dogs are back out of the field. So are the Eels. Obviously, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. Get me your prediction in the chat. It's still basically 0-0. It's 12-12 at halftime. But the Dogs do have Viliami Kikau off for the next 7 minutes of the game. Next 7 minutes of the game. Fox League has been playing that Galvin hype vid during the break, second time as well. Yeah, but it's like when they advertise the State of Origin with punches. Or they advertise Manly vs Melbourne with the Battle of Brookvale. It's like it's not allowed to even happen, and they don't care if he comes on here. It's gonna get people to view the game and watch the game, hoping that they may see him come on. It's like Galvin's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I could say overrated. But for the time being, I'd say overrated. I think he has become overrated. That doesn't mean that I think that his career will be overrated. I think that he's a good player. It's just like he's being treated like he's the greatest player to ever live right now, and it's just super confusing. Yes, he's a good young talent that has a lot of errors in his game still that need to be worked on. But, like, yeah, sure, he can be good. Eels are waiting. Oh, no, taking out the 33rd tackle. Overhyped and overrated. Again, I think he's a good player, and I think that he's currently overrated based off of everything that's happened. But that doesn't mean that I don't think he will become a great player. But I think right this very second, it's just crazy the amount of talk that surrounds him. Dylan walking out the 45. Someone says, think they're just waiting until Sexton puts the slightest foot wrong so they can chuck him to the Dogs, and Gus can say he worked his way into the squad. Don't disagree. Connor Tracy now get this ball to the 10, first tackle. Good tackle from the Eels though. His ego will determine what type of player he becomes. His ego, and which will ultimately also come from his close circle. Because, yeah, you could look at the media right now, and his ego at a young age could absolutely just go through the roof, and he could think he's the shit already. And that he's got nothing else to prove when he's got everything still to prove. He hasn't proved anything yet. You can look at the wage, the paycheck that he gets, and he can be like, shit, yeah, I've made it. It's like, well, you've made it, sure, but you haven't done anything yet. So there's one way of him going in with that ego, and it will come down to his circle, kind of keeping him humble. Or he will come in and, will work hard and become the player that he earns to be. So the Eels get a good offload there, and Nyongi at the 40, the 45, the 50. Good run. Good run. Hello, David. First tackle, Nyongi rolls it back to Moses. And 6 again here for the Eels. So Addo Carr will get this ball to the 43. Don't forget, Viliami Kikau still off till about 33 minutes to go of the game. Viliami Kikau in the bin for the next 5 minutes still. Dylan Brown off to Kautonga. Kautonga to the 35, second tackle. The media also ain't helping. Typical media always on for a story. Well, this is the whole part of it. This is the whole part of it. Eels now, Australian culture though, which I don't agree with, but Australian culture will help to kind of bring it down a notch though. because a lot of people will also be there to shit on him at first opportunity. Tall poppy syndrome is a big thing in Australia. 4 tackling out the 24. Galvin and hard work in the same sentence. Well, Mitchell, we all know what your opinion is going to be as a Tigers fan. Dylan Walker off to Moses. Moses gives it off to Iyongi. Iyongi at the 25. And then taking down fit tackle. Mitchell, what's the crowd next to your name? That's him being the top chat contributor today. So the Eels get it across here to Lomax. Lomax comes through. Lomax catches it. Oh, he gets the offload at the back. And Dogs ball, they flick it up. Oh my gosh, I don't think he should have. If you go out there, if I was Bronson Cherry, I would have fallen over the sideline because it would have been a penalty. But luckily for the Eels, he didn't think of that. So second tackle now for the Dogs at the 18. And Matt Burton will go to Connor Tracy. Tracy now to the 25. Third tackle. Reed Miney. I don't know why Montoya flicked that ball back though. If I was Cherry, I would have gone over the sideline then deliberately because it would have been a penalty. So out to Toby Sexton, 40-20 attempt here. You can see that was coming a mile away, though. He's got to be faster with that kick, man. He's got to be faster with that kick because every single Tom, Dick, and Harry across the world, people who didn't even know what a 40-20 is, people who don't even watch rugby league could see that a 40-20 was being attempted there. So that gives plenty of time for the wingers to jump back. This game has the writing on the wall for Sexton to come on and make the game-winning play, sadly. What do you mean, sadly? Sexton? Do you mean for Galvin to come on and make the game-winning play? Also, what is wrong with it? Ultimately, I will say, if Galvin came on and did have the game-winning play, what would be wrong with that? Why is that a problem? So Dylan Brown gives it out to Sean Russell, and then Mitchell's favourite player gets away from one, taken down to the 25. Mitchell's favourite player, the old Sean Russell. How would you rate Tubby's performance this season so far? Well, they're in first if they win this game. So he's a halfback. He's in a key, crucial position. At the end of the day, yeah, they can be better. But the Eels here down the right side. They give it off to, kicks it over the top. Lomax. That's very much Lomax special. Kicks this ball dead. So it will be Dogs ball at 20. But, like, how, if you're playing as a halfback and your team is in equal first right now, with a chance to go first if they win this game, well, they will go first if they win this game, by 2 points. They've won a gigantic amount of games. You can't have a bad halfback and be there. But it's just that the Dogs believe they can do better. Because then you're going to have to hear from Dogs fans for the next 10 years about Galvin's debut. That is a great point, to be fair. That I will agree with you on that. But, like, I've got nothing against the kid. Good luck to him. I hope that he has a successful career. But yes, it would be painful to 6 again here for the Dogs. That was a crowd penalty, that one. It was a crowd 6 again. He wasn't going to call it, but he called it because of the crowd. Robert says, Blaze, mate, you look like you're part of Greta Thunberg's flotilla with that bandana. Yeah, no, I'm there right now. She's just sitting over there. No, we're captive right now. We've been kidnapped. So second tackle, she's at the 30. She's at the 35. Dogs are at the 35 at the 25. Now the 25 third tackle. 6 set restarts for the Bulldogs, 2 for the Eels. I can get you this one if you'd like, and I can look more Byron Bay if you'd like me to. If you'd rather me go from Israel/Palestine to Byron Bay, we can. So out the right hand side, and Dogs will be at the 10 fit tackle. Reed Miney, Kurt Mann, Connor Tracy, Stephen Crichton. Crichton kicks it through, and Adokar will grab it and just throw it away. Pass the ball over the dead ball line, so it'll be a dropout from the Eels to the Dogs. Now, donate $5 billion so we can take Fox League out of business. I reckon if you've got $5 billion to donate... Oof, you could argue that was a knock-on from Bert before, but it's fine. If you've got $5 billion to donate, let's just make it 6. $5 billion so that we can take over Fox and put all the games on here, and then the extra $1 billion just for a bit of a laugh. No, yeah, Robert, you're right. You'd have to be overpriced, Cafe. 1 second, short drop out. Eels knock it back. Eels get it. Eels get it off the short dropouts. Eels ball at the 11. You'd have to be in an overpriced Cafe streaming to be in Byron, brother. That is true. That is true. That is unfortunately true. They have made it overpriced there, Byron. Nowadays, I'd say the better place to go would probably be like Lennox or Yamba. In that area, like if you're trying to think of it, in areas around Byron that isn't just completely destroyed by over tourism of the the indie kind of hippie area, you'd probably be looking towards more. Oh, it's a knock on Eels. That's bad from Jack Williams. That's bad. Bondi is also a top spot, Jay. Thank you. Bondi also a top spot. It says Galvin doesn't have a single trade of halfback in his game. I really don't know why they're trying to get rid of Sexton. I do think he's probably more like Brent says Nimbin. I do think more so you'd be looking towards 13. But it's also Nimbin, not Nimban. But Nimbin's not beautiful though. That's the difference. Like at least Byron is beautiful. It is beautiful. But Nimbin not so much. I do understand the comparison though. Toby, we've had this conversation. That's what I said. Where is Galvin going to come on? 7 Crichton, he gets his ball to the 20. Oh, taken down just before he got away. 18 is out, first tackle here for the Dogs. Because they've got Kurt Mann to replace the 13. They're not going to take their 7 out in Toby Sexton. They're not going to take Matt Burton out in the 6, especially in a tight game like 12-12. So out of the right-hand side to Kurt Mann. Kurt Mann now at the back of Toby Sexton. Sexton underneath it to Josh Curran. Junior Bolo with a big hit, but he gets the ball away anyway. Kurt Mann, he'll be 10 metres out. Arguably a high tackle. Surprised he didn't give away a penalty there. Third tackle, there's the penalty. Take the 2. Oh, Sutton, stop listening to the crowd. Make the call or don't make the call. Make the call or don't make the call. Don't wait 5 seconds to make the call in that situation. Like, okay, it's a high tackle. It hits his chin. It's not going to be a sin bin by any means. But, like, it's a high tackle. You knew it was a penalty. Just call the penalty. There was no advantage to be played in that situation. But anyway, it's not that bad of a complaint. It's just like, I don't necessarily know if he actually made that call or he listened to the crowd and then adjudicated based off of that. Smell. Jay, you're from Perth, mate. This is the other side of the world to you. Must be a flexible salary cap to have Galvin in the 23 shirt. FBI just hope Galvin got a ring in his hand. He tried to compare with Luai, but Luai got 4. Who tried? Galvin tried to compare with Luai? When did he try to compare with Luai in that stature? Compare with Luai. Galvin is in outer... Like, if Galvin is on Earth, Luai is the sun in regards to comparing the two size-wise, career-wise. But that's because Luai has had a much longer career than Galvin. Lucas Smith is okay. So genuinely, in your opinion, who's a worse ran organisation? I can already see where this is going. Rugby Australia, who can't organise anything and killed a game at its peak, or the Titans, who's the worst ran Aussie sporting organisation? Firstly, that's incorrect. There is plenty of worse run organisations, one being North Melbourne. 2, you could argue that the Tigers are up there because they've, across their history, 1 second, so it's 14-12 to the Dogs, and I believe the Tigers fans deserve better in their organisation. But then again, they are trying to improve it. They are actively trying to improve it. But by labelling the Titans as that, it's like the Titans have gone through multiple managements across the 17 years, and none of them 18 years. Neither of them have been fantastic. At least the previous one got us to a preliminary final in the first 5 years or 4 years of existence. But you know, North Melbourne up there, the Gold Coast Suns until now have been one of the worst ran organisations, and we want to see them do it again before we can even say that it's fantastic right now. And they're doing great at the moment. But there's plenty of other teams there. Rugby Australia has been the worst run organisation nearly across any history because they've destroyed the game of rugby union in Australia because they went the private school route over the public school route, or they just went the private school route over the balanced route. So the answer is Rugby Australia, because the Wallabies were the biggest national team in Australia up until probably about 2010, and then it changed. The cricket was massive, and everyone loved cricket, but the Wallabies were the biggest sporting organisation for a national team in Australia. And yes, the losing came, but you've got to remember, Australia still made semi-finals of World Cups and still made the final of the World Cup in 2015, but no one gave a shit. So the point is that they've still been there or thereabouts, but no one cared because of the way that Rugby Australia destroyed it. There is a significant comparison between Rugby Australia and any other domestic league team. But the Bronze and Cherries away the 40, the 30, the 20. Oh, he get taken down to the 15. Fit tackle. So right-hand side, Toby Sexton kicks this ball through. It's a great kick, and it's going to be a dropout here from the Eels to the Dogs. 14-12 to the Dogs, 28 minutes to go. But yeah, look, I'm aware that he was trying to get a troll of the Titans, but it's very easy to put that one to bed and say that's just a ridiculously stupid comment. And also, mind you, the Eels have not won an NRL premiership, and they've been around the NRL since the start of it, but they've won a state competition, 4 premierships in the 1980s in the state competition before the Broncos, the Cowboys, the Titans, the Dolphins, the Storm, or the Warriors all existed. So the Eels with a short dropout, they won their last one. That's not going to go 10. That's a penalty to the Dogs in front of the post. They're not going to take the 2, but that was just stupid there for Will Penasini. So yeah, if you would like to argue it and say that the Titans are the worst run organisation over Rugby Australia, or you want to say that the Tigers organisation isn't a part of it, or North Melbourne's organisation isn't a part of it, Fremantle as well, there's plenty of organisations out there. So I understand that you're just trying to insult, but it's very easy to put that one to bed. So first tackle now for the Dogs at the 5. But again, if you want to debate it, feel free. Tell me why the Titans are the worst run organisation in Australia. Explain why. Second tackle now for the Dogs at the 8. And also, are we doing time periods or are we doing entire history? Because the other teams that we're talking about, if you want to compare during the Titans' history, then there is at least 4 clubs in Australia that I'd put on a different trajectory, a worse trajectory. Maybe not trajectory, but overall, since the Titans have come in, there are multiple clubs that you'd put below. So left-hand side out to the Dogs, and they're at the 5, and that's across all different sporting organisations, not just rugby league. Freya's actually been doing pretty good the last few weeks. Congratulations. The last few weeks, we're talking about a lot more than just the last few weeks. That's an awful kick there for the Dogs, and the Eels will get the ball at the 20 on a 7-tackle set. Surely you didn't just think that because of the last couple of weeks that we're now putting them into a great category. Knock on from the Eels. Well done. Well done. First tackle, and the Eels will knock on. Unbelievable, Parramatta. Unbelievable. So the Dogs, we're going to get another attacking set here. He won't have the mental capacity to debate it. No, well, I encourage it. I encourage it. If someone would like to tell me that the Titans are the worst run organisation, and then comparatively since 2007, because you can't go back previously, but comparatively since 2007, and you want to look at current trajectories, and you want to look at metrics since 2007, there are multiple clubs below it. And Camp Brodie's correct. I'd argue Newcastle are up there with worst run teams. Sure, they had a great year in 23, but what about that period when they won 3 spoons in a row, and how are they faring right now? At 3 spoons in a row, and you can also say, right now, what are they actually aiming to achieve? And what were they aiming to achieve over the last 5 years? Because they weren't competing for a premiership. They were just competing for the top 8. And based off of a 10-game win streak or whatever it was. So congratulations on making the 8, but what does that actually do? Ultimately, we're trying to win a premiership. So if your ultimate goal is to make the top 8 and not compete, then the Knights have been unbelievable specials at doing that. But what's the ultimate goal? Is it to make the top 8 or is it to win the premiership? And then now, where's their trajectory at? They're relying upon a guy who's not even a 7 to be their 7 next year. Out of the right-hand side, Con Tracy, 5 metres out, third tackle. Third tackle, 5 metres out. They roll it back to Stephen Crichton. Crichton will get it back into Toby Sexton. Sexton at the 15, then up to Kurt Mann. Kurt Mann gets it to Matt Burton. Burton goes himself, tripped up, 10 metres out, 4 tackle. 4 tackle. Out to the right, and now 5 metres away, 5th tackle. They give it back to the left, Reid Marnie, Toby Sexton. Toby Sexton to Matt Burton. Burton gets a kick out, not the play. That's a changeover, and the Eels will get the ball at the 5. Good defence there from Parramatta. William Gleason says, hi bro, running late, went out to Orange, heaps of snow today, hope you're well. Man, I miss snow, I'd love to go skiing. I'm not going to be able to get to Japan, which is the closest skiing region in the area that I'm at, but I'd love to get to Japan very soon. I do want to head up Chicago way by the end of this year. We'll see how life tracks on, but good to hear. I do miss the snow. But you're right, Cam Brodie, they absolutely can. They re-signed a coach that no one wanted because of a streak that wasn't going to amount to anything. 4 tackle now, they get this ball to the 35, and also they got beaten 44-12 or whatever by the Warriors in the second week of the finals after just beating Canberra, who were the exact same team as the Knights until this year. So Eels now to the 45 on 5th tackle. I'm still waiting for a reply from old mate. You ask a question, then you run away. So Dogs out. You are entitled to your opinion. I just want to know how you've come to the conclusion of that opinion. Jan Farman says, imagine them knocking the ball on at the start of a 7-tackle set. Good on your Lomax. Second tackle here for Canterbury at the 25. And Lachlan Galvin's coming on. Lachlan Galvin has come on the field here, ladies and gentlemen, so I wonder what position he's going to play. I wonder what position Lachlan Galvin's going to play. Obviously, he's going to play a little bit of a third half. And it's going to be a penalty here to the Dogs? No. Referee, stop blowing the whistle for no reason, dude. Third tackle here with the Dogs. They get bought to the 45. I don't know why he keeps doing this. He's done it 3 times today. Sean James says, go the Doggies. Love Sefton Playhouse. I don't know what that means. So out of the left-hand side now, Bronson Terry back to Viliami Kickout. Viliami Kickout gets the ball offloaded to Burton. Oh, it's a knock-on from the Eels. Knock-on for the Eels, but it would have been a Dogs try if he didn't get that touch. Canterbury says, and they lost to us twice this season. Even I'm like, well, that's not good. Yeah, but like I'm not looking at this season, because if we're looking at this season, then we're probably looking at the West Coast Eagles, if anything. But the Titans would be absolutely toe-to-toe, going toe-to-toe with the West Coast Eagles. Pretty sure Sefton Playhouse is a stripper joint. Is this like a stripper joint in Sydney? So second, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that was. I thought he was saying Sexton, but it's half a moon there from Josh Curran. They give it up to Galvin. Galvin, short ball. Third tackle here for the Bulldogs, 5 metres out. They go out to the right. Burton, Kurtman, Galvin. They get it quickly across. Dogs here. Kiraz. Flicks the ball before he goes over the sideline. Dogs now with the ball at 10 still. Crichton on third tackle. It's a great tackle from the Eels. Oh, man, that was a crazy turn of events there from both teams. The Bulldogs were going over the sideline. Jacob Kiraz was going to be taken out, but he flicks the ball back on the inside. Stephen Crichton picks it up, and the Dogs with such superior momentum right now, they drop the ball. Crichton drops the ball after getting it from a fantastic tackle from the Eels. Good work there by Sean Russell, Mitchell's favourite player. Samson Story says, completely off topic from what you were talking about right now, but the way Moses has changed Eels defence, I know he has been back for a couple of weeks, but start of the season, Eels possibly could have let 30 plus. So, firstly, that's more on topic than what we were talking about, because this is obviously an Eels game with the Dogs, so you're more on topic than what we were talking about just then. But you're right. However, when these two teams played each other last, it was 14-8 to the Dogs, and Mitchell Moses wasn't playing. That was in round 3 of this season, when the Eels probably should have won, and probably would have won if they had Mitchell Moses, to be fair, to agree with your point. But yes, Mitchell Moses is a key part of this team. It doesn't necessarily translate to a great deal of wins, because the Eels are a bit of a mess right now, going through a rebuilding stage, especially when they lose Dylan Brown next year. It's really going to start to put the movement in. Eels taken down 38 metres out, fit tackle. So yes, I agree. Mitchell Moses is a one-man team for me, the Eels. It is a one-man team. Without Moses, this team was 0-4 to start the season. Got a very lucky win against the Dragons, which was 23-22. They deserved it, but a lucky win against the Dragons. But the Dragons are a very inconsistent team themselves. They just had 56 put on them by the Dolphins. And then the week after went and got pumped by 50 against the Raiders. And then that's when Mitchell Moses came back the week after. And they were able to get a win against... I can't remember. But the point of the matter is that, yes, Moses is absolutely key to their structure and also to their attack. And it's going to be, for gosh sake, referee's done it again. He's blowing the whistle for no reason! He's blowing the referee for absolutely no reason. Consistent, you reckon? I meant inconsistent. If I said consistent, I meant inconsistent, Robbo. There's no way I would ever call the Dragons consistent, mate. My apologies if I said consistent. Oh, Con Tracy! Tries over the Dogs. 18-12 with a kick to come. Try time to the Bulldogs. They will get over the line with 20 minutes to go here in the game, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Viliami Kickout will score, and it's a 6-point game with a kick to come. Someone says, you would be so filthy if you were Sexton. Your team ahead and playing well, and now you're forced to move position. What position has Toby Sexton been moved to? And that was a good try there from Viliami Kickout. Good offload from Con Tracy. He really is the unsung hero of this Dogs team. But yeah, it was Toby Sexton who passed it to Galvin. Galvin gets it across here to Burton. So 3 halves play there. It's a 3-half play. And Con Tracy just runs it through the line. Mitchell Moses gets the tackle, but he just can't wrap the ball up. And Tracy is able to offload it to Viliami Kickout on the inside. And Iyongi, he had to make the play across to help out Mitchell Moses, but obviously Kickout was waiting on the inside. Mitchell says Galvin can all of a sudden pass the ball now. Yeah. Well, he got the ball to Burton, who got the ball to Tracy here. It was a bloody good one in 98. In 98? What, Super League? What was a good one in 98? I think they moved Sexton to hooker. So what, is Reid Marnie off then? Did they take Reid Marnie off and move Sexton to the hooker? Be better, Blaze, how dare you? Fuck off. So Crichton, one line break today, 95 metres, 3 from 3 goals. Was Super League not 97? Well, no, yeah, probably, because that was when Manly played the Knights in that grand final. You might be right. Is it ARL maybe then? I can't remember. This is when I was super young, to be fair. I was 4 years old when all this was happening. I was 1994 I was born, so 97 and 98 is a bit too young for me, but I know kind of around that area. I'll just never forget the 97 grand final winners because my dad's a Manly fan. So he'll never forget that Darren Albert Andrew Johns to Darren Albert. And Crichton will miss the kick! Oh, it wasn't a difficult kick, but he's missed it, so it's still only a 6-point game here. 18 minutes to go of the game. It's still only a 6-point game. 18-12 to the Dogs. Potty Smithy says, hey, Cobbo, thanks for the game you cover. Enjoy your enthusiasm and effort. Long-suffering Eels fan. Let's put the Dogs back in the kennel. Well, you still got a chance now. As you know, we're here live for every single game, man. So we're back in a couple of days' time for Sharks Dragons on Thursday. Hey, Robbo, I hope you're there for that one. I don't know what will happen in that. Sharks should win, but Sharks is just... There's a reason they're on scam. There's a reason they're a bunch of scammers. Bloody Sharks, bloody bullshit. Unbelievable. Don't bring the Sharks up. Piss me off. 94, what a year. What a year, Jay. You a big Raiders fan, mate? You a big Canberra Raiders fan, are you? Big Canberra Raiders fan. So, Dogs now at the 15. Strip Club. Okay, so love from Sefton Playhouse. So shout out to Sefton Playhouse. Massive Horsburgh fan. Get around Horsburgh. Third tackle. Horsburgh for Canberra. Robert says, good to know your dad doesn't have to know the pain of being a Titans fan at least. I'm timing you out. You're getting a timeout for a minute. Shut your mouth. You're a Dragons fan, mate. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to time you out just because you're a Dragons fan. Well, you know, we got absolutely... not even dry humped, but humped up and down the field by the Broncos on Saturday at the Titans. But at least we didn't have 50 bomb put past us. At least we didn't have a 50 bomb put past us by a team that was 0-4 to start the season. So, whoa, you could argue that's a shoulder charge there, but it's the Eels ball at 15. To be fair, would you... Actually, this is a good question. Would you prefer to be in last place... Or to win the wooden spoon? Would you prefer to win the wooden spoon or to be in the grand final in 97 and to lose it like the Manly Seagulls did in 97 to the Newcastle Knights? To get literally that close. Or to be a Broncos fan from 2015 and 2023. Would you prefer to win the wooden spoon or have a season where you do get to the grand final and you're in the lead with a couple of seconds to go or on the siren and the other team beats you in the grand final on the siren? It's either you choose... Oh, that's a charge down there from Vilema Kickout, which will stop the ball and get the Dogs to the 35 to the 40 on first tackle. I got no choice. Yeah, you are a Broncos fan. So, okay, here's to make it relevant for you. Would you rather have a season like 2020 where you did win the wooden spoon, or to have a season like 2015/2023 where you got to the grand final and then completely choked it in the last few seconds? It's like you get the success of the grand final. No, Bulldogs taking down the 35 third tackle. You get the success of being in the grand final, but you have the most embarrassing and heart excruciating moment of your life, or you just know your team's shit from the start and you don't have your hopes and expectations up. So out of the right-hand side, fourth tackle, they give it to Galvin. Galvin gets annihilated in the tackle. Damn, I don't think that's 6 again, is it? It is 6 again, but Galvin got annihilated in the tackle. Pavsky, what are we talking about here? Where's the Dogs' salary cap coming to this? Where's the Dogs' salary cap coming to this? What are we talking about? Out of the right-hand side to Kurt Mann, and Mann is going to be 5 metres out from the line. Have I missed something in the chat? When are you talking about salary cap? Oh, knock on for the Dogs. The Eels will get the ball at 10. 15 minutes to go. Still a 6-point game. You'd rather one game of heartbreak than an entire season? Yeah, but it's like all that season compounded and you're you're about to have the best night of your life. You've had the best year of your life, and then it just fucks the whole year. I think it's an interesting question either way. Like, at the end of the day, a grand final is still an exciting week and whatnot, but it's like, I guess for me, as a content creator who's known with the Titans and all that kind of stuff, if the Titans had a moment like that, we lost the grand final by choking in the last few seconds, that would be, oh, dude, the amount of shit I would cop online oh my gosh, it's awful to think about. That's a knock on there from the Eels on first tackle. This is very Parramatta. This is such a Parramatta thing to do. This is multiple times here today too. I mean, if the Titans in the grand final, yes, absolutely. Well, this is what I'm saying. You've got to add your team. Who cares if it's another team? You've got to add your team for the perspective. Grand final 99 still haunts me, to be honest. Is that Dragon Storm? He's lost it before he's even gone into the tackle. But if it's a high tackle, if they call high tackle, they'll call penalty. I think it comes free beforehand. We need to see a different angle, mate. Why are you showing this angle? We need to see a different angle. You can't even see the ball there. He might still have his hand on the ball there, though. I don't know. I think this might be inconclusive. Yeah. Yeah, so inconclusive challenge. They'll support the live decision of loss, and it will be Dogs ball 10 minutes out. Or 20 minutes out. Kitikaoni Katonga, thank you so much. Just do it again and harder, please. So yeah, 15 minutes out. I think that he actually retained that. I don't actually think that was a knock-on. But there's no angle to prove that, and the on-field call was a knock-on. But if I were a Manly fan 97, you still have the other premierships. Yeah, but you've got to put it into your own perspective. Yeah, Dragon Storm were in front of the half and choked. That's right. Was there a controversial moment in that game? I can't remember. There was a big controversy. Was it a penalty try or something? Was it an 8-point try? They were a lot, not common, but they're a lot more common than nowadays, those 8-point tries. I don't even know how you get an 8-point try nowadays. They never give it, even though you think they should, based off of the evidence of a penalty and a try. So the Dogs now 5 minutes away from the line. Third tackle, 13 minutes for you to go. If the Dogs score here, I don't know if the Eels will be able to come back. I know it'll be only 12. Damn, Sexton went for a little dummy run. He is playing hooker right now. So Max King out to Kurt Mann. Mann off to Matt Burton. Burton taken down 5 meters out. I've got an idea about Toby Sexton. I'll mention in a second. 5 meters out, fit tackle. Viliami kick out to Galvin. Galvin kicks his ball across. It's actually not a bad kick. Good take by Sean Russell, Mitchell's favourite player. He'll be 3 meters out, first tackle. I think what they're doing, they've already said Reed Marnie is guaranteed to leave. They haven't spoken about Toby Sexton actually guaranteed to leave just yet. Maybe they're putting Galvin on into the halfback and keeping Matt Burton to the 6 and putting Toby into the 9 to see if they want to just potentially use him as their hooker into the future rather than play the halfback, so he can still stay on the field and play because he's been a big part of the team, but then improve the halfback position and then also get rid of Reed Marnie, who they're obviously offside with based off of the fact that he's ill-disciplined, I guess, which I don't necessarily agree or disagree with. I think that he's a great defensive tackler, and I think he's a big part of their team. However, I think they do want to change the hooker because they're over the penalties and I guess the shenanigans, the shit talk that he does bring, even though that is also necessary at points. So Dogs now bring this ball out here to the 30 through Jacob Kiraz on first tackle. Jared says, yeah, 2002 grand final was up by 2 with 20 minutes to go, and Villasanti had to elbow Fittler, and then the bloody floodlights open up, miserable last 20. How much do you lose by? Sundo says, yeah, that was last angle we saw looked like he held it. The last angle that we saw did look like he held that ball. Third tackle now at the 50. But you wouldn't have been able to see if the ball was already touching. Like, you can argue. You could. Oh, Kurt Mann with a great run. Kurt Mann to the 30, to the 20. Gets the ball on the inside. Strikes over the Dogs, and that should be the game for mine. That should be the game for mine. The Dogs should probably go on to win this game now. 22-12 with the kick to come. right next to the post. It's still only going to be a 2-score game, but with 12 minutes to go, the Eels have had opportunities to get off of their line. They just keep knocking the ball on and giving opportunities to a team that is fighting for first place right now. They're equal with first, but if they win this game, they go to clear first. However, they play the Rabbitohs next week. The Storm, the Warriors, and the Raiders, all three of those teams that are around the Dogs do have the bye. So this is a very important game for the Dogs to win, and they are currently doing the job. Obviously, there's still 11.5 minutes to go, but they need to win this game to keep their position up where they are. Skidman says, do you reckon the NRL would change much if the Raiders won their grand final when the robbery happened? What? Do you reckon the NRL would change much if the Raiders won that? What are you talking? What do you mean? What does that mean? Do you reckon the NRL would change much if the Raiders won their grand final when the robbery happened? I don't understand what your question actually means. The NRL would change much. I don't get it. Canberra says, I think with the benefit of hindsight, I'd still be proud to make the grand final. Yes, the loss would suck. It's like when we lost the NRLW in 23. Sure, but you haven't got the same kind of... Yes, obviously we've got passion for the NRLW, but it hasn't been around long enough for you to have the same kind of emotional attachment that you do with the men's team. But I understand the comparison. You look back and think, yeah, but that season was fun. Yeah, I think we've had such a long-suffering history that you would say that. 1999 was the penalty try, but it was an 8-point try. It wasn't an 8-point try. There you go. 2002 grand final was 30-8, so it was a heartbreak. Damn, 2 with 20 to go. Reminds me of that Bulldogs and Rabbitohs 2014 grand final. And Dogs will get the kick. So it is a 12-point game, 24-12, with 10 minutes to go of the game. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe. Bit hard to explain. We'll explain it, because that comment doesn't make sense. Like, how does the NRL change based off a different team winning? I don't understand what you're trying to put across there. No, yeah, he is talking about the 2019 grand final, Jared, but the point of the comment doesn't make sense in regards to an answer to the question. Brenton says, how about we look at the 97 grand final the other way around with your team to win in the last few seconds? Still gives me shivers. Well, of course. Still gives me shivers watching that replay. I wouldn't survive that night. If the Titans won a grand final the way the Knights did in 97, or the way the Cowboys won in 2015, or the way the Panthers won in 2023, I am not surviving that night. Actually, to be fair, I don't care how they win. If they won a grand final, if they're in a grand final, I'm not surviving to the grand final. I've had to put up with that much shit with this club that, look, I don't survive the day. I don't survive it. I'd throw up, because I know that if we win, it's going to be the greatest time of my life. If we lose, I'm just going to cop the most outrageous Instagram and YouTube and buddy social media barrage of my life if we lost the grand final. So fit tackle here for the Dogs, and they're going to be at the 45. Like, after what I copped after that Titans-Dolphins game in 2023, like, God help me if we lost a grand final. So first tackle now with the Eels at the 15. And penalty to the Eels. Okay, this is big for them. They're still only in their 15. They'll probably get out to about the 40. It's a penalty to the Eels. I haven't seen the Eels in the attacking half for ages. If Titans won like the 97 Knights, I'd run it all around Canberra nude. Would you not go to the game? You wouldn't go to the grand final? It's only 3 hours away from you. You wouldn't. Even if I was in the middle of North Sentinel Island, I would find a way to get to that game. I know I might be in Thailand right now, but no matter what, no matter how much of a problem that I have with this organisation, no matter, regardless of what happens, I will be at that grand final. I might be in my grave, and I still would get to the grand final. I'll rise from the dead to get to Accor Stadium. First tackle here for the Eels. They get that 6 again at the 40. Kaltonga rolls it back now. They give it out to Dylan Walker. Yo, I'm at the game, up the Dogs. Jeremy, if you're at the game, it's a close game right now with 8.5 minutes to go. How have you gone on YouTube and not been involved in the atmosphere? Out of the right-hand side, it goes over the sideline. There, touches Grassy McGrath. Dally M points coming up. Dally M points for Grassy McGrath. We're waiting, but he will get some Dally M points here, Grassy McGrath. Canberra says, yeah, of course. Who said I'd do the same night? We'd win. Well, I'm not getting back to the Gold Coast. I don't know if I'd be able to get back to the Gold Coast within a week. They wouldn't allow me on that trunk. All right, so it will be Dogs ball here coming out from their own 35. So right now, the Eels will be staying equal last with the Titans. But the Eels do have a bye next week, and the Titans will play Manly. Whilst right now the Dogs have gone outright first above the Warriors and the Raiders. But the Warriors and Raiders both have that bye. So Kiraz taken down 30 metres out, third tackle. I don't even know what I said in that comment. Correct. No one does. So it's Jack Williams is going to have to come off the field here. I think it's a HIA, so we won't see him again for the game here, unfortunately. God bless him. I would be stoked for the Wars they just made to a grand final this year and still lost. Would you though? Like 2011 and 2002 would hurt Warriors fans to think about. Like 2011 when they lost to Manly and 2002 when they lost to the Roosters. So it's like making a grand final. If it was a Warriors Dogs grand final, would do numbers, man. That would do numbers in regards to a viewership. Oh my gosh. Dude, you will see thousands of people on this live stream. You saw about 1,600 people watching it live for Origin Game 1 here on the channel. You would see thousands of people watching that grand final here. And that would be sold out within seconds. Like, Warriors Dogs would be probably the peak grand final for this year if you wanted numbers. Because, like, forgive me, Canberra Raiders fans, love you. I actually want to see you kind of go on and win the grand final this year. Con Tracy out the back here to Kiraz, and Kiraz going to be 5 metres out, fifth tackle. Can they steal the game? Sorry, it's fourth tackle. He gets the offload away. Josh Curran. Lachlan Galvin has scored! Galvin has scored. And it's 28-12 with a kick to come. Lachlan Galvin will score. And they will win the game. Oh, dearie me. Lachlan Galvin has scored. Who called it? Someone called it earlier in the stream. It has the makings of Galvin to come on and score in the last seconds to win it. Like, obviously, they'd already kind of won, but Lachlan Galvin will score with 6.5 minutes to go. Dearie me. Look away, Mitchell. Tigers fans, turn it off. Turn the TV off. Time for bed, Tigers fans. I know it's only 5:40 p.m., but I think Tigers fans are going to want to turn this game off, man, because the circle jerk for Lachlan Galvin will be emphasised right now. It will be emphasised. Mitchell, our glorious Tigers fan here in the chat with a $10 redo donation says, I hate my life. Oh no, Mitchell. Oh no, I feel for you Tigers fans, I do. I feel for you because that would be brutal to watch. Thank you for the $10 dono, mate. Oh no. But yeah, massive numbers and a great game. Yeah, I agree, Branson. It would be a great game. We don't get to see the Dogs Warriors for a while, to be fair. But yeah, sorry, Raiders fans. Like, without disrespecting you, because I actually would like to see you win this year. I do think that wouldn't Raiders Warriors or Raiders versus Dogs would nowhere be near as much numbers as Warriors and Dogs or someone like that. Obviously, Melbourne, no one would really care about either. Two franchises. Dogs have gone through two grand finals that they've lost since they won in 2004. The Warriors have never won. You'd get an entire country back in that. Plus, also, you get Samoans back in New Zealand. Plus, you get Tongans back in New Zealand. Plus, you get Fijians back in New Zealand. You'd have Papua New Guineans probably jumping on the island support as well. You got the entirety of the Gold Coast back in the Warriors based on the fact that the Gold Coast is basically New Zealand West, Auckland West. And then for Bulldogs, you'd have the entirety of well, you've got a large fan base there already, and I guarantee you get a lot of Lebanese as well jumping on it, so it'd be huge. It'd be massive. Bulldogs Warriors would do significant numbers. It might actually be one of the highest watched grand finals of all time if that happened, I reckon. Blessy says, this guy's the most loved and hated player in the sport. Good on your Dogs, you keep your top spot. Yeah, they do keep their top spot for now, but like I said, they play the Rabbitohs next week at Accor Stadium on Sunday, whilst the Raiders have a bye, and also the Warriors have a bye. Now, the Raiders' points differential is still better than the Dogs. They had to win this game by about 20 points. So they're plus 74, they're now plus 92. They need to score one more converted try to go back above the Raiders. They need one more converted try to go back above the Raiders' points differential. Again, they have more points from wins, but they need 6 more points, or 5 more points, to go above the Raiders' points differential-wise again. William Gleason says, I have the Harvey Normans with Galvin, no interest, go Tigers. I don't know what that means, sorry. Galvin, you couldn't script it if you tried. So fifth tackle, and the Eels will grab it at the 15, Iyongi to the 20. Well, I actually have enjoyed this game. I've enjoyed this game. The crowd would go crazy. Oh, Reese, there'd be fights galore in that game. Unless you're a Dogs Warriors fan, I wouldn't even recommend going to the game. Dogs and Warriors fans would punch on for sure. That'd be a pretty brutal atmosphere. That grand final, Dogs and Warriors would be a brutal atmosphere. Third tackle. And if you're a Dogs fan coming to try and defend and say there wouldn't be fights, you're full of it. And if you're a Warriors fan trying to say there wouldn't be fights, you're also full of it. There are definitely some amazing fans of both support bases, but oh dearie me, Montoya just crushed Will Penasini. Oh no, Penasini just got annihilated by Marcelo Montoya. There's some fantastic fans, but like both clubs do have fans that love a good punch on. Mr. Los Santos says that just hurt poor Parramatta. Well, Mitchell's a Tigers fan, and it was Lachlan Galvin who scored, Mr. Los Santos. So that's why he's dropping that bad boy. 3.5 minutes to go here. Montoya lined him up. It was a bit of a hospital ball there. Yeah, even Eels fans would be spewing that try because everyone thought that Galvin was guaranteed to Parramatta. Everyone thought that was what was going to happen. That Galvin was going Parramatta. It was basically a done deal, and then the Dogs came knocking. Both those fan bases are full of instigators. Bulldogs more than Warriors, but like Warriors in New Zealand, I didn't have a problem at all. Warriors fans in Australia can be a little bit different. Second tackle now at the halfway point. Breton says, imagine the Waz Joker supporter and Dogs Braveheart guy punching on. No. I know the Joker, mate. I'm not going to say his actual name here. I know the Joker. He's a really lovely guy. He's a lovely dude. He's a really kind-hearted man, dude. He wouldn't be getting into a punch on. And I've met the Braveheart dude before, but I don't know him. So, fourth tackle, and it'll be a penalty to the Dogs. 2.5 minutes to go. I'm not a fan of Dogs fans. One gave me COVID once. Okay, that's a ridiculous comment. So, 2:22 to go here in the game. The Dogs are going to be going back into first. But he says, can't stand going Dogs games anymore. Imagine being at Belmore in the 1980s where the first 60 minutes you had to pay to go to the game and the last 20 minutes were free. So anyone who didn't care about getting kicked out could go in. Imagine being an Eels fan or a Manly fan back then. Going to Belmore. Would have been great fun. You shouldn't have kissed him, Skidder. Penalty to the Dogs here. I would honestly think about the two. Oh no, we'll go on for the tries, fine. Go on for the... Oh, dude. Sutton, dude, get this game in control. That was a thing, Blitzer, yeah. It was a thing. Back at Belmore, back in the 80s. Mount Smart Joker is very lovely. It was a great pick you two took together last year. Yeah, no, he's a good bloke. The front lines had a lot to do with the Mount Smart Joker for a while. For many years, for like over a decade. Because we have a good relationship with Warriors. And knock on there from the Dogs with 1.5 minutes to go. You can jump the back gate at Belmore anyways, to be fair. Surely they've got security there nowadays. So the Bulldogs will challenge this. They are going to challenge it. Can't you jump Shark Park? If you want to waddle through some mangroves, sure. If you want to go through the mangroves, and that might be a strip here. Mitchell Moses' hand. Oh, I don't know if it shows that he even loses it. Technically, oh, that's a high tackle from Moses, to be fair. This might be a penalty. It's moderate force and direct. Okay, on report a penalty. It won't be a sin bin, though. But yeah, technically you probably could if you wanted to sneak through the mangroves, but you'd be filthy and you'd be very easily seen because you'd be dirty as shit. Because you can't go in from the roadside there in Cronulla. And you wouldn't be able to go from the eastern side either, or the western side. So yeah, you'd have to come through the northern side, which is the mangrove side. You get a free zinger box when Daz works in the gate. No, you don't, Brendan. He'll lie to you. He lies to you. He still owes me a zinger box from when he came to the charity match when I was commentating it. He still owes me a zinger box, and he never got it for me. He's a disgraceful man, that Daz, mate. Look at the ball on. So it's going to be another attack here for the Dogs with 46 seconds to go in the game. Hey, listen, Dogs, I don't know if you know how important this is, but a converted try here will work wonders for you because you are still down by 4 points on the differential to the Raiders. Daz runs security on the back gate. No, Daz is the man who jumps the back gate. I think the Dogs actually know it. I think the Dogs actually do know it because they are packing the scrum here. They do want the points. They know this is important. They're still 70, 80 odd behind the Melbourne Storm in points differential, and they are down by 4 on the Raiders. So a converted try is important here. 26 seconds left here. Dogs with the ball, 10 metres out. They go out to the left. Out to Burton. Burton kicks it over top here. Oh, he's dropped the ball. Viliami Kikau. He's dropped the ball. They're going to check this. They've got no try. They're just going to confirm it's a clean run for Villy. Buddy old Daz, give Blaze a zinger box, will you? It's a disgrace, Brenton. It's a disgrace. It's a good kick there from Burton. And yeah, no, that's fine with Penasini. Oh, it was Penasini's hand, so it wasn't a knock-on from kick-out. So if Connor Tracy had to put this ball down, it would have been a try. Bronson Cherry got taken out, but that's fine. And now, Connor Tracy, if he actually gets his ball down, which I don't think he does, it's a try. No. No. Oh, it's Connor Tracy's 100th game. There you go. The ex-Cronulla Shaggy. So, unfortunately, that will end up being a Dogs knock-on there. But regardless, the game's pretty much over anyway. Yeah, it has been a long last 90 seconds. It's actually super interesting, this top 4 battle right now, between the top 4 teams. Not between anyone outside the top 4. It's a super interesting battle between the top 4, because you've got the Dogs with a plus 92 points differential, who are going to be in first, outright first, on, 24 points? On 24 points. And then you've got the Bulldogs and the Warriors who are on 22 points, but the Warriors, their points differential is not great on 35, and the Raiders in second and third with Warriors with their plus 96, which is 4 points differential better than the Dogs, but the Warriors are about 60 odd points worse off than both the Raiders and the Dogs. And you've got those 3 teams just battling it out in the top 3 right now. But if one of those teams slips up and the Storm win, the Storm with their plus 171 points differential just comes in and wipes the... Oh! Dogs intercept! Jacob Carrez! Back on the inside! Dogs! Oh! Jeez! They won't score. They'll be half a metre short of scoring here, the Dogs off the intercept. Oh, they would have put themselves back in front. Dear me. So the final score will be 30-12 here. I'm going to quickly actually run through that top 4 battle here. So again, Bulldogs win 30-12. So they're on plus 74. Now they're on plus 92, but they're on 24 points in first position with a plus 92. The Raiders and the Warriors are in second and third position on 22 points each, but the Raiders have a plus 96, which is 4 points differential better than the Dogs. But the Warriors, who are in third, are on plus 35 points differential, which is about 60 odd worse than both the Dogs and the Raiders. So the Dogs don't have a bye next week. They play the Rabbitohs. So they have to win their game, because if the Raiders have a bye next week and the Warriors have a bye next week, so both those teams, if the Dogs were to lose, would go equal with the Dogs, but the Raiders would go into first based on points differential, but the Warriors would still be in third because their points differential, unless the Dogs lost by 60 odd, which they're not going to do, the Warriors would only go to second if the Dogs lost by 60. Not happening. So they'd be in third. But again, to remind everyone, the Storm, if they just simply keep winning as well, do they have a bye next week? They do. That's right. The Storm also have a bye next week. So if the Dogs lose, those 3 teams would be equal on 24 points, and the Storm with their plus 171 points differential would only be 2 points behind all 3 of those teams. And if any one of those teams lost and the Storm won, they would jump them gigantically, because they're up 80 over the second best team in that top 4. The Dolphins actually have the second best points differential out of everybody. Oh, no, sorry. They've got the third. They're equal with the Dogs right now. The Raiders are in second. Damn, really interesting there in that top 4. It is really interesting. And don't even start with the Sharks, the scammers. Don't even start with the Sharks. Olivia Rip with the $3 redo donations to another day, another dono. Jeez, you nearly missed it, Olivia. You nearly missed it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have a vid I will say to you on Facebook. Your mate RFS might like it for a reaction vid. Okay. Jeff Money says, yeah, the top 4 teams have stayed there since round 7. Looking forward to seeing how this ends up after Orange period. Again, there is a lot going on in that top 4. Robert says, by the way, you got a shout out in the Bloody Brilliant Beers podcast the other day. Did I really? Was it good or was it bad? Was it good or was it bad? because my team's not going good, so that's why I'm like, it was a bad. Bloody hell does give Blaze his zinger box, will ya? Gus Gould will be getting around himself after the Galvin try. Yeah, it's huge. Levy said, who's winning today? Well, the final score is 30-12 to the Dogs. The Dogs did get the win there. The Dogs did get the victory. So, yeah, look, we've got 5 games next week coming up. Obviously, there's a lot of buys. There is a lot of buys. So, on Thursday, obviously, we'll be back as the Sharks take on the Dragons at Sharks Stadium. Then you've got the Titans and Manly at Seabus. Oh, gee whiz, that's going to be a painful one for me on Friday. And then you've got Saturday, which is Knights versus the Roosters. And then you've got Cowboys versus the Dolphins at McDonald Stadium and then also Queensland Country Bank. Sunday, then you've got the Rabbitohs versus Dogs at a core stadium. So basically a home game for both those teams. That'll probably be a big audience there, to be fair. And then Broncos, Rabbitohs... No, so Broncos, Eels, Panthers, Raiders, Storm, Warriors, and Tigers will have a bye. So that's beneficial there for the Eels and the Tigers, who are both bottom 4. And no, not the Knights. The Knights and the Titans still play. So, yeah. And if the Knights lose... Oh, no, the Eels points differential is getting close down there to the Titans now. They're on minus 105. Minus 105, also Titans are minus 142. So that bottom 4 battle is quite heated up as well. Sean James, is good win and good call, mate. Thanks again from Thailand. Get around you, Sean. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here for today. I'm going to jump off here for now. Obviously, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Hope you enjoyed another round of Rugby League. We've got Origin next Wednesday. Not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, which, as you guys know, is going to be probably a huge stream here on the channel. It's going to be a big one, so get ready for that one. But I'll see you on Thursday for the Sharkies and the Dragons. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.